matter sometimes. Highest headshot percentage in the game right now. This guy's the most mechanically consistent player for me in the world. He is so dominant in 50-50 duels, it feels like it's not even fair, even if you're against star players like we have on Faze.
Many of them, it's not even fair. To your point, haven't even mentioned Perfecto that much when he comes in with the mastermind and the clutches. Twist, the same. And I think this is why we are excited to kind of watch this match, because to me it is also about kind of expectation and then how they can do even better than those expectations and who is going to step up between Faze and between NaVi to the level we need them to in order to hoist that trophy.
It's like a box of chocolates, right? What's it going to be? What's it going to be when you have Perfecto and
Hopefully
Twist?
something good, you know?
They can absolutely save you. Twist did it. Perfecto can do it. Everyone on the server is a star.
Absolutely crazy. What a match we have here. Faze versus NaVi. Who will lift the trophy? We're going to start on Inferno, and I hope that Machine and Sponge have an amazing time with it. Let's go, guys.
I think it would be impossible not to have an amazing time with what is ahead of us. We are on the precipice of Counter-Strike history. Nobody, not even the players on the stage know what is going to go down today. But isn't it going to be fun finding out, Chad?
We have NaVi, the reigning major champions, defending their title against the undisputed #1 contender in Faze. World #1 versus world #2. The best will be decided after this best of 3.
I got a fun fact for you, Chad. I was speaking to the audio guy. He told me that the crowd were as loud as an airplane taking off, 108 decibels. So let's do it one last time. It's Faze against NaVi. Sport Police, let me fucking hear you! All right, pistols on Inferno. The very first round, the very first blood to be drawn of the grand finals. It begins here.
Slow and steady out the gates here. Feeling each out. See any aggression to come in from either team. Bit of space taken. Faze gearing up now, util in hands.
There's a lot riding on this pistol. And it's electronic. Down! Down and out! Bit having a go, down as well, out low. It's just him. Space and bomb plant acquired. FaZe Clan have the advantage. Simple looking to change things. Those bullets are fast. They're furious. And I'm sure NaVi will be too. Perfecto though. Not out of it yet. Lots of utility. Time-sensitive mission. You must close the gap. Close it fast. Flash through. Backs turn. And only Perfecto, head in hands. FaZe find the first round. Haven't quite seen an arena this full for Counter-Strike in many, many years. I've been meeting fans from around the world, and what was the biggest takeaway for me was just how everyone is on the same page. They know the struggle and the stories of all 10 people that are on the stage today.
Yeah, this one right here, it doesn't normally boil down like this. #1, #2, the two teams that everybody wants to see, the final that we feel we deserve, the final that Counter-Strike deserves.
How did you put it? The world #1 contender taking on the reigning champ.
Undisputed world #1 contender.
Yeah.
FaZe are #1 in the world right now.
Oh man. It looks like we're back. The Sport Police wills us back into game.
Some hefty buys by FaZe here. I think they know that the force is going to come out from NaVi immediately.
Yeah, really prioritizing.
Yeah, no SMGs in sight for the attack. NaVi, a specialist here in these second rounds. Let's see what they can get across the line with a slight purchase. Couple Deegs, couple HEs in the mix here as well. Rally, if you two up, Banana, Twist, he's trying to take some space. Looking for a fight, will be smoked off to deny, so drawing out the nades.
Yeah, not too many more where they came from. They will not be able to keep up the wall as the clock plentiful. My God.
Defending a bit of control here, Faze across the map, just looking for this space. Very standard stuff on Inferno early, nobody wanting to be too pacey in a round like this. I don't know what buy they're up against.
These slow rounds as well just help you get your head screwed on tight. You had the walkout, dopamine flowing through your veins. You've got to keep a steady hand. Process of elimination now for Faze. They start their advance. Karrigan always likes to be the leader of the pack in every definition.
It's a hard crossfire to break here. Stacks on the other home side, but they're coming in.
Gruesome twosome, electronic, simple, called upon, and the Deagle strikes. First good night for electronic, simple. An exquisite double, but that'll do nicely. Karrigan, bit of sign of the times, I think, just trigger happy, but that'll do.
Easy done right there. Didn't get enough out of the pit player. Simple does his job at the side. All the attention drawn. Two's not enough to stall this one out. Bomb goes down again, and Faze will be converting 2-0 out the gates.
Those Galils hold fast in that second round. Especially on T-side Inferno. Faze getting it out of the way. First half of the first map of the series.
Yeah, try not to make this one a third map decider if you're Karrigan. I think remove that from the major finals. Let's see if we've got a dud this time round. That's what everybody's looking for. Slow and steady wins the race here on the T side. You don't want to overstep. You don't want to give anything over. Much weaker this time round, NaVi. Good trading onto the site here. NaVi not worried, not concerned about this one, and could see Twist online early with a couple of kills. But a smattering of pistols out again, and can there be a difference maker in the round? Flashes, mollies rain on out. Stalling any NaVi early peaks. They've got to hold them back for now.
Robs hasn't seen a single soul in these first 2 rounds. And that may continue. NaVi doing everything they can to puff up their chest. Fame, presence and pressure.
You have to take a risk in a round like this from NaVi, right? You're down to just the pistols here. You're hoping you've gambled correctly. The question is, do they want to block them or do they want to let them in? Ideally, you have to run through the grey screen here if you are NaVi.
Still 60 seconds. Perfecto responsible, will get the smoke out. Do they go through? They don't have to. Decisions to be made, and the spray does chip away.
Just enough for a second wave here out of Faze. They're going to test the issue.
Ready and waiting. Down goes Simple. And that will be Perfecto added to the list. One remaining close. And he's trying every trick he can. Actually, connect. Moki surviving. A blade straight to the chest, but walks away from it. That will be the 3-0 conversion, and convincingly so.
Yeah, very clean stuff. Hasn't been a moment of worry so far coming out of Faze. Great stuff as well for the likes of Brokey and Twist to get on the board early. These two individuals representing their countries, the first from Latvia, Canada. You've got Robs from Estonia as well to represent their country in a major grand final.
Norway.
Well, Rain was there before, back with that Boston final, I think, that has haunted them for many years.
Oh, that one. It's been so much fun to see the fire lit within Rain. Watching from home with your feet up as your team, your captain, lift the trophy this year. Lit a fire inside of him, and I'm sure we can all understand and put ourselves in the shoes of him. Admirable stuff. But it is time, Chad. Are you ready for our first gunny?
Yeah, a little bit of a bonus here out of Faze. They've got this Mac 10 still in the hands of Brokey. No AWP out for him just yet, but NaVi are into the full buys. Do Faze want to just continue slow and steady as you like, or do they want to try and throw something with a little bit more flavor their way? Defensive smoke drop top banana. That's going to isolate any early information for NaVi as Rain up and to that boiler room quite quickly. This is fast for the mid control. Molly over the top. Look how passive NaVi. They're not leering mid. They're not taking any fights. They're giving the room over. Karrigan chipped on down a bit of flak damage, but you can see the pressure point that Karrigan wants to work on here early.
Oh, little bit of damage inflicted, unconfirmed, but
They have a lot of room, right? Faze right now, they have all the room that they could hope for and some more. Just juggling here, perfecto on the way back over, bringing a bit more to the fight on B.
a couple of spares. That will work out nicely with the time remaining.
Just note Simple's position here. If this is a committal, he can get over and help this two-man holdout very, very quickly. So the response time on this will be fast. Bit of a gap in this as well.
FaZe Clan looking to put NaVi back into the dumps. Simple has sight, takes down the leader. Heavy damage, but they are across 20 seconds, running out of players. It's up to these three, and Twist does deliver. Time, oh! So much damage, 1 HP on Simple, but he does fell Twists. A nice upgrade, a valuable one, a compulsory one. Rops alongside for the ride, yet to die. Long range, brave from Brokey, needs one, gets it! And on the advance, another from Robs! That 1 HP, Twist's handiwork may very well haunt Simple. And his attempt here in the clutch time, very low. Brokey 6 feet lower. Simple, 1 HP, Robs yet to die. Who comes down on top? It's Robs! Robin keeps his cool. We see the 4-0. NaVi yet to get off the starting mark.
Had that three-man stack over towards B. You saw that execute come in. Simple speedway position. He was there in time. They get the opening kill. Looks like they were trading quite efficiently onto the site. But it's that star trio. Brokey, Twist, and Robs getting the necessary kills on that site, close it down, and the aggression that they were able to continue within those fights. They weren't allowing NaVi to set up in that retake. And look at this, a bit of an investment here out of NaVi. Some interesting purchases. Boomage, CZ, Simple with something a little bit out of the box here.
Yeah, and they are going to flirt with something a bit more avant-garde, a little off the beaten path.
It's a very powerful position from Simple here. Not necessarily the first clear as you round the corner. The Alligator might munch away at a couple of FaZe players here when they do try their luck at that mid-control. A pack mentality out of FaZe here. You can see them grouping together, clearing this out as a unit. They have the utility to do so.
Boomich's sixth sense tingles. But who will be made the ghost? Tries his luck. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Look how low they are. FaZe's ears are ringing. As Boomich swings around, swinging. Still yet to frag.
They're in a bit of trouble here. Remember this position. This could be massive right now. The HP of FaZe is a huge problem here.
They're so weak. And Simple ready to stand tall. Pumps him for the ledge, just the one. Kept honest. Favors FaZe now heavily. What is Bit supposed to do? A Kevlar vest and a Deagle? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And the same case for Perfecto. Spotted out, nice find, but that looks like a foreboding fifth.
Just try not to give over a gun here. Keep as many alive as possible right now. Perfecto looking to do a bit more damage. But this is a 5-0 start for FaZe. This is beautiful stuff. You couldn't ask for anything better on the T side of Inferno right now.
Yet to see an AWP in play for anyone.
Money hasn't been there for NaVi just yet. FaZe have had the options to go for it, but just want to keep it rifle heavy, keep it as a bit of a pack.
Is Brokey one that wouldn't shy away?
T-side AWP, right? This is the thing. On a map like Inferno, if you want to lock down a bit of territory, if you want to try and stop Simple from going for swings and peaks, then yeah, bring it out. But if you're more than happy to operate with these AKs, it's a bit more versatile. So the T-side at AWP, if Simple has one and he loses it, Brokey might pick it up, right?
Sure,
That's when we see it come into play here. But just want to note the selfless nature of Karrigan there, right? Him jumping forward, you saw that draw Simple's crosshair wide. If he just jiggle peeked, like most players would, the art of the wide swing is dead, right? So Karrigan just jumping wide, drawing that crosshair, saved them a few more bodies. So big start from the leader as we get back underway into round number 6. Still no AWP out in play for Na'Vi here, but will they try and take some aggressions, find an opening? Well, speak of the orb, here it is from Brokey. Aggressive maneuver forward will be noted.
He's fired off the shot and it echoes across Inferno. Na'Vi all too aware now. You can see this scouting party starting to poke and prod towards the apartments. Simple the same, throws a couple of mag into it.
Yeah, Rob's put on notice there. Chipped on down to 26, so he's going to have to operate a little bit more passive here. Rob shouldn't be a problem for him. But this is just the standard Inferno at the moment. It's about pulling utility, it's about playing the chessboard, taking it slow, the default spreads.
You know, I heard from Karrigan's interview about T-side Inferno feeling like one of their best in the pool. Everyone on the same page. I can imagine that's a euphoric feeling. It's game time, folks. 40 seconds, Faze. Flash Simple out of the fray. Not ready. Ray needs it, gets it back. A vital trade. And still pressure on B as well. Na'Vi scratching their heads. Where is this final commitment coming from? Boomich, oh, down and out! Brokey's caught him through the smoke, and now only one man can save Na'Vi. Put that pound on the board. And playtime cancelled by Brokey. Rain even had the rotate.
Yeah, that's the key right there. That Rain killed the trade back. That was the most important kill of the entire round. It meant that Faze didn't have to rotate back and try and go towards A. They weren't just going to run into B limp. That kill actually opened the round up completely here, and all they had to do was find those kills. You say all, that kill from Brokey through the smoke. Miraculous stuff right there. Just being very diligent. Boomich goes down, and that's the round. This is a fantastic start for Faze. It's not often you see Na'Vi getting blank like this. A 6-0 start.
I mean, it would be something rather special if they can continue to build up on this. I mean, 6, they'd have bit your hand off. They would. And they've got it in the first 6 of play.
It's very unlikely that Na'Vi stays this quiet, right? If Faze are able to pants them here and just have, we're talking like a 9-10 round spread on this T side, that would be monumental. It's unlikely to see them push that limit now as Na'Vi saved a couple of guns. The loss bonus is in their favor, but that's where the good news ends, right? Yeah. You mentioned the AWP. It's not possible to get out still. Faze will be aware of that. They have them right where they want them. They know the players that they're killing. They're aware of the economy. They know the loss bonus, so they can keep running rounds like this. A couple more clean ones. You can see the cash right now for Robson Rain, both over that 10K mark, and a timeout called now. The eye test here, you'd need someone to dig through the stats, but every time it feels like Blade calls a timeout, Na'Vi respond with a round of their own. The coach for Na'Vi is a mastermind, the puppet master, pulling the strings and pulling his players right where they need to be. Let's see if we get that response.
Yeah, they say life imitates art, but Master Splinter and Blade definitely have some parallels.
Because of this pace that Faze has been throwing, you might see a pace change out of them or continue. If it ain't broke, don't change it. Na'Vi would just love to find an opening exchange here, a chance where they can find a favored duel. Look how tight Faze are playing. They're not giving anything over at all.
Yeah, Boomich has had very little to play with on his banana adventures. Chipped away at the Canadian twists on the grand final stage. Functioning with about half health. This is the flash. Brokey on his signature weapon and looking to find a way in. They don't come easy. Little glimmer of rain. Information conveyed on the reaggress. Just hanging in the balance, and Simple puts himself straight into the line of fire. Bit now called upon, and that's another on the T-side orb. Brokey hit double digits, and the rest will come. Brokey triple. What are they to do?
Save again. This is very miserable right now. And I'm looking at the details of this. How many rounds have they pressured Arch? They're actually trying to target simplest position on the map, and they've done it consistently. 3 of these rounds right now where Na'Vi have had guns, they're either dealing with the rotation, right, that weak point, because Arch is where you rotate between the bomb sites, or they're seeking him out, trying to bait him into fights. Right. That is the perfect example right there. Yeah. Faze have come in with a game plan of target simple. How many teams pull that off?
How many teams are brave enough to pull that off?
See, he had problems as well. Boomich yet to find a kill. He's not finding any traction in Banana. Bit yet to get a kill.
Yeah.
Electronic with just 1. Simple has 7, sure, but it doesn't matter when he goes down. He's not in the play. He can't rotate around. And Boomich might not get anything here. Rain decapitates. 1 left. Perfecto. He's been spotted. Dicked up 2, and he's going to go on down. Clean sweep. Brokey with the 4K on the AWP.
That's going to be feeling absolutely A1 for the Latvian. And this is how it started, Chad.
Yeah, it can't be stressed enough. Look who's the first death. Remember when Rain went long side, they traded off of that? You also had Karrigan before in the first gun round. Wrap Arch side.
Yeah.
It's all been Arch. This is where the target is right now, and Na'Vi are left scratching their heads. An upgrade into some pistols here, down in the dumps. Maybe Faze getting that 10 rounds on this T side is possible.
I mean, this is going to be Karrigan hyper-focused, zoned in.
They found a weakness, and we're just saying if Blade takes a timeout, they traditionally convert around. Still yet to see the AWP come out. I'm sure that big red button will be hit for Na'Vi into the next. Bit might be the man having to drop that. You can see the residual cash he's left over. Simple obviously gets a couple more liberties to be taken, and Faze are just sticking to the same script. Bait it out, see what they're up to, take the map control.
They've got it down to a science now. Quasi-buy for Na'Vi, not interested in full investment for round 8. And again, Chad, we've seen this before, significant threatening damage dealt before the final commitment.
Well, look where the gap is right now. They can almost waltz on up, just 1 smoke, have nothing to worry about as they make their way up that short side. But remember, they have been going long, so maybe they want to test that yet again.
Na'Vi seem to hope so as well. Back, thinks better of that. Oh, nade looks good, and that's a shot at a bit. Sits Rain down, a weapon tantalizingly close, but another body down. Defensive smoke just for survival now and retrieval. Maybe more to be said about Bit hiding in plain sight. Does take another body.
Time's a problem here.
They have to plant. They are into the site, established, but with a man advantage for Na'Vi. Still 7 rounds have passed without any Na'Vi resistance. Is this where things change, or can Faze fight 3 on 4? It's up to Karrigan. Brokey does hit the shot, and Karrigan good for the headshot now, running out of options. And that'll do! That'll do nicely! It's Twist with a 2-piece. And we see the score if you've just joined us. Yes, this is reality. Map 1 of your grand finals here at the PGL Major Antwerp 2022. And Faze are 8-0 up. This is the reality we live in.
This could be the change right here. We spoke about it. The AWP to come out for Simple. Half's already been won. Faze have done more than enough here. Anything else is the cherry on top, but we need some resistance from Na'Vi now.
Who else but Simple to try and change the dialogue? Another setup shift. Trying every trick in the book just to get off of that goose egg.
So they're trying to take a fight here. This is the first time they're actually trying to lock down mid. They know that Arch has been that weakness. Flash is a setup. This might be a smoke in the hand of Brokey.
Yeah, that's
he
a
can
geeky
flash
one.
from this position as well. We've seen MIP try something tricky in the book back in the day.
Still with vision. Still no bloodshed. It's Electronic. He is a big game player. The Des discussed it too, out of Electronic. Might need more out of him though. Decisions to be made. And it's a big one out of Robs. Stops Electronic from building further. Distinct disadvantage only extended as Bits does strike. It's Brokey up against the odds. One luxury is the bomb, but standing in his way is the GOAT himself. Using the smoke, that's not gonna stop him. And there you have it. NaVi break their silence. And it starts with Electronic.
So we have to see a kill out of Boomage here if you want the bad news report that's coming out for NaVi. That is the changing of the tide. They do invest into the AWP. They do find traction, but it wasn't really with the AWP. It was with the rifles locking this down top mid. But it was the stance that was different. Right? They weren't giving so much space. They were happy to defend, and there's Simple finishing the round off here. But Faze are back into things. A couple more of those necessary for NaVi if they want to break this economy right now for Faze.
Yeah, they got plenty of cash to splash. Simple. Cautious. Twist has a little idea as to aggression, wants to try and punish on a tiny slither of smoke, but now already replaced.
Done a lot here, right? They've already been able to draw out smokes. Boomage is going to signal the fact he has this Famis over towards B.
A clear intent now. Faze looking to show that that single round was just a flash in the pan. And regular scheduled programming ready to return for round 10. Look at where the bomb is though. This is all just smoke and mirrors. There's another smoke, chat. That's
just
another
drawing
smoke.
out. This is all this is about, just drawing the util out. Simple stuff from Faze here, spotted. Electronics still selling the dome of the head. Has to be very careful. He's scooped up now, time 45 seconds on the clock. Faze will show indications now where they do want to finish this round. What's the closer going to be?
NaVi flying relatively blind here. No answers top. Banana. Rain just crawls on out. He evades the first spray of Bit and he is ready, but so are NaVi. Simple on long, one down, only Robs really, and he's got two. Simple. Cuts them off with a pass, and on the cross, Karrigan joins them. Brokey, dead to rights. 10 seconds, he wants to die and will. A triple out of Simple. They've been focusing on him, still finds himself at the very tippy top.
It's quite clear they're still trying to play with that rotation. They throw a B fake, right? You could see Faze what they're trying to do. They're just trying to keep NaVi moving. The B fake right there is to draw Simple or whoever the arch rotator is over towards B. Nobody moves, right? NaVi have adjusted. They've said, let's sit back, let's wait, let's let the fight come to us. We won't create these gaps. Simple shuts them down. So great stuff here as we are getting into the thick of things now. This is the opportunity to break the bank balance. A big round for NaVi coming ahead. If they can deny this plan, if they can make sure there's no saves, they'll set themselves up to claw this half back to be respectable. Caught him out. Just caught him out, just walks on up. Robs, how's he find a gap like that? They've been watching mid every other time, and now it's Boomage's turn. He needs a kill.
And he will find it! Twists. First time we've seen him punished for his adventures early up the banana. You can see there is a hidden smoke to be retrieved.
Not sure how much that's going to do. Faze might get a move on right now. They've got the kill they're looking for.
There's
More
pace.
intent.
There is a lot of pace behind them here.
Look at the gap. There's such a massive hole right now. It needs to be filled by Simple. He's going to have to do this alone.
Yeah, he's been called upon here. Nice contribution out of Electronic, but Faze still stubborn. On the way in, a missed shot goes punished, and it's up to perfecto. Karrigan refuses to die. A 2-on-2. A battle of wits and fortitude. Blind. Time starts to tick. Favor of Faze. Robs responsible. 2 AWPs. Chad, what are they up to? They can't miss these shots. And he has. Robs doesn't. Just the one, and that'll do. Robs and Karrigan, 5 kills between the two of them. 9 T rounds here on Inferno.
Kind of wonder that opening kill from Robs. It didn't even feel real that it was happening because he was just walking out Boiler alone. You can see some risks being taken now. That opening kill is what threw this round into a bit of a tailspin. It created the gap on A, then the fight went down towards B. That's a massive response right there from Faze. I still can't believe that Robs just walked out mid and took that fight. That is wild, but Simple. Just to try and level the field here, looking for an opener immediately. He's going to be sent packing by a flash in space. Liberty's now Faze. They're trying to take a lot more room, they know. turn the heat up on NaVi now.
Yeah, they've found their mojo. NaVi still chasing it. And there's been a dynamic feel to this Faze clan.
It means that NaVi can never be caught sleeping on any of these choke points. You just have to love what they're throwing their way.
You just never know what you're going to get next.
Yeah, the spanner in the works with these dry walkouts. We saw Rain try it earlier. Rob's got away with it. And with these walkouts, it's just going to keep NaVi in a position where they can't gamble, they can't hedge. They have to lock down these positions. They have to keep eyes on.
Util, that must force Electronic out. He's blind, burning, Simple the same. Look at the damage. And he's gone! Hungry for the repeat. And it is a deadly sin. Greed gets Simple. Bit got a lot to do with a very less than ideal buy. Still brings Karrigan low. But Proki so far forward and Bit stubborn on the defense. What is that from Karrigan? Tracers reveal him. They're so close to one another. This is all hanging by a thread, and it's Electronic. Sets NaVi up for collection. Can they really find a way in? Is there anything to be said for Faze Clan? 10 seconds is all they have to work with, and there's a setup. One and done. Proki can't get to the bomb, and NaVi make it 3.
Well handled now, but the best they can get is 6 here. Look, and I said the best they can get is 6. We know that NaVi can have a vicious T-side too, but we're just seeing them work into things. Bit of an odd one there from Simple, right? Caught off by that molly. You can see this here. He doubted the spread. He doubted the spread. Runs across, peeks back, licks him in the final moments there and gives the opener to Rain, but not enough for Faze to get on the board. And look what has happened now to Faze. These close rounds, the nature in which they have unfolded, left them in a bit of a financial situation right now. They're going to have to sit back, hold on to their pennies. Good opportunity now for NaVi to build back.
Pressure is felt by everyone, Chad. It's just a matter of how they react to it.
Conversation now for Faze is about not losing the momentum going into the second half. You want to try and keep this tit for tat. You don't just want to lose the last 3-4 rounds consecutively here. You want to make sure that you're competitive, you're keeping the fight up, they're close.
Yeah, I mean, best case, we get to see a bomb plan and a couple of kills, but I don't know who to look and call upon for that.
Yeah, and it's just the same from Faze here. This is what we saw from Heroic versus NaVi just the other day. Stalled out, very slow Inferno.
Ooh, that's a little naughty, but it's more hopeful than anything. And that might take hope away. Ooh. Just making sure any of our newer viewers know what Inferno looks like. The nooks and crannies.
They're taking our time, exploring the entire map. Not only that, but they're trying to bait out some of this CT util, force them into a rebuy in the next, and that's why it's this very pokey little play with the pistols. Show their face, drop back, and then eventually run into the meat grinder. Simple's going to get the first here. Perfecto and Boomich over towards B to do some damage. Boomich and Perfecto going to lock this one down and through the smoke. Twist gets one. But that'll be it, says Boomich. He's going to be happy with that. A couple of eco kills to get him up to 3 in total. Needs to get his confidence going. Boomich has been fantastic for this team once they've made it to the playoffs here. He's been extremely mobile as an in-game leader across the map, impact frags, so want to get him online. Could be looking at something a little bit more pacey here, Alex. Just taking note, taking stock of the purchases that Faze are starting to equip here. Timeout taken for NaVi. The second opportunity. I think Blade knows that if they can get to that 6 mark, they're still in this map. It is not done just yet. Started bleak, started absolutely miserable for NaVi. That pressure point of Arch time and time again. Hemorrhaging rounds, but right now they're back in it.
Yeah, Blade, somewhat of a savant for Counter-Strike, and now probably just making sure with his abacus that everyone is on the same page as to what can be coming their way.
It's a bit curious if they're going to be expecting a buy like this. So he's trying to get, they're trying to get the most out of this before it gets too out of control here. It's curious if they want to use pace behind this. They didn't buy any HEs. Normally if you had a couple of nades, you'd lob them forward, soften up on the faster pace. It's not so easy to do when you don't have any nades in place. You're going to have to hope for a couple of good flashes here, but a set piece definitely on the line. Check that radar out. 4 players for Faze, quickly making their way up second mid. This is one of the pocket strats you need if you want to win a major grand final.
4 members of FaZe Clan stampede. Simple has to recede. Double flame. Smoke for more pressure, but call that off.
That's huge. That is massive from NaVi right there. It doesn't seem like a lot, but that is all the investment in utility gone for FaZe immediately.
Look
that was
how
a
many
pocket
smokes.
strat. Yeah, they were hoping to get away with a lot of space. That actually means a lot. NaVi have just stalled them out completely here. They have to come up with something on the fly.
Wow, there was 5 smokes. Bloom in the opening 10 seconds, and there's more replacing that.
These flashes here that Brokey are lining up is perfect. Try and get a bit of a waterfall strat coming out, but they will need to get past 3. Bit in Electronic are hard to break, and Simple's there as well.
3 players, 3 flashbangs.
These are going to have to be absolutely perfect here. If NaVi aren't blind, there's no way in for FaZe. They're just going to get shut out of this.
Yeah, but Rain is going to be the one to come in last, looking to clean up the mess. And here comes the commit, lots of flashes. Rain has opened the account for FaZe. Simple, one back, hard shots, and Rain shuts down Simple, long range. FaZe with a cobbled together buy, Mac-10s, a single rifle, pistols. Break into the A site, and Boomich and Perfecto just have to sit back.
I can't speak to how ridiculous that is. NaVi negated the initial onslaught. They had a strat that they wanted to run from spawn. You don't see that too often. We've been seeing default spreads throughout. That right there was a strat straight from spawn. You can see the nature behind it. The smoke's already in the air. Molotovs, multiple Molotovs from NaVi come out top mid, and you think that's done. That's completely over right here. But Brokey, we saw him in that position before, and you saw how good those flashes are. They're meant to waterfall over as your players are jumping out apartments. If that pit player wants to fight, he's going to get wiped. And that's exactly what happened. Bomb goes off again, and FaZe. What a half this has been.
So for the first rounds, we witnessed Simple being the target. Those flashes have Electronic's name written all over them.
Yeah, that was beautiful stuff right there. The fact that they were able to pull something out of their back pocket after the initial strategy didn't work. I'm loving this. You can see the flashes here perfectly highlighted.
Bang.
They continue to come on over. A couple of them, you can see in the feed, Brokey getting flash assist there, and that's exactly what you want from a strat like that. That is the pressure now turned up on NaVi. Saved gun Shaw. A couple of line buys around this here. I said 9-6 would be all right. 11-4 sounds absolutely miserable here for NaVi.
Yeah, it's looking ludicrous. Boomich, though, this is what he does best. A double out of Boom. Bit and Boom. Bang. And the final round of this first half, they do get the opportunity to at least remedy this defense. Hall 5 does seem like it is a must. Karrigan just forced to sit back and watch as his 3 remaining compatriots look to bring something out of this round. NaVi seem to have a good idea as to where they're coming from. It was Rain before. Can he possibly find a way in again? Heard now. Couple of missed shots, it's still Simple. Only 1 out of Rain, and NaVi hold on to the reins. It's Brokey tagged up and body bagged as well, 5-10.
All right, recovery here. Of the last 7 rounds of play, NaVi were able to pick up 5. So when you look at it that way, a bit of momentum in their favor, but it's had to be extremely hard rounds that they're converting here. Not been easy whatsoever. Great half out of Brokey, 16 kills to his name, leading the charge, even though that arch side was targeted time and time again. Simple, of course, 14 to his name. And finally, a bit more proactive play out of NaVi there, right? Boomich actually barreling down Banana. Before that, it was very passive. They were just waiting for FaZe, hoping that they would come with the quickness. This will be some comeback for NaVi here. We know that, Inferno can be a bit of a weakness. Something that teams do like to target from time to time.
Yeah, and FaZe have demonstrated that they're coming in possessed. 8-0 for a start. A 10-5 half certainly can be classified as a recovery. This is a big one. Equipping Superstar with the advanced pistol for these long-range duels. The USP favored in most of those, but the gap closing quick. Anticipation grows, the Sport Police know just as well as we do. This pistol has a lot riding on it for NaVi, map 1 of our grand finals.
Some intentional steps right there, just giving away a sound cue or two, letting them know. Flash on over, information for Rain, and what a shot. Boomage, he's down and more for Rain.
Anyone else? Anyone else want to challenge out Rain? Robs, he's got a back turn, it's hard to hit! And Electronic slaps him down! Pressure mounting as they look to bounce and bound into the A site.
They can still cut off the bomb here. Karrigan might have the right maneuver about this.
It's not bad at all! And Simple doesn't even click as he's silenced by Rain. Back and forth we go, they're tossling for control. Wrestling in a 3-on-3. 40 seconds, T-side. That's the bomb! In the open, courtesy of Rain. His heart beating as he's taken 3 out of the equation, and he's not done yet. Oh, what a shot out of it! But Rain still presides over that bomb. Trying every trick to recover. It has to be Rain! Looking for it! Oh! The ace! The ace! You doubted him! And he continues to prove us wrong! Steps up! When Karrigan and Faze need him the most, NaVi head in hand in the first round of play in the second half. Look at this, all 5 for Harvard Nygaard. It had to be him, no one else was hitting the shots.
That's absurd right there. The fact it comes down to a 1-on-2 and Rain's already done all the hard work just to get them to that point. Massive stuff. If NaVi thought they had any hope in that pistol, Rain has just ruined their day.
Simple. He's looking to put on a clinic. Looking to break the rules.
He's trying to take this on himself, right? With a purchase like this, he has to find something. He can't go down without a fight. Light investment, sure. They're really feeling the pressure here, NaVi. This type of a buy feels off script. They're putting all their eggs into this basket. He's going to have a limper purchase going forward in the rounds. Smoked off, denied, perfect stuff. You don't want to task with that one. Another smoke top mid, continuing to block, and it won't be wanting to walk through that gray screen.
NaVi looking a little stuck here. Electronic respects the utility. Karrigan maintains the futility of this round. They will fall 1 by 1. Jumped on, and that's a lot of cash injected into the FaZe Clan bank account. $600 per frag on the SMG. The unarmored NaVi, no match.
NaVi are out of sorts right now. That purchase from Simple there, the question is, will he get donated an AK? It's most likely that someone will drop him an AK and he'll give on over a, oh, okay, maybe not. Going to see something a little different coming out here. But FaZe are handling this. The game plan so far has been perfect. Even in situations like that, knowing to take the space late, not early, denying those pistols the chance to take the room for free. But right here, deep mid smokes, nades come on through. No real damage to find here, just to be chipped away. Electronic looking for some space, barreling up behind the util. Taking a lot of liberties and a lot of room here.
Yeah, that's a lot of space, quick. You can see Brokey is going to be the third bannerman to arrive upon the site. Retake smoke, util to rain in. The flames will force you back or forward. Make a choice. Extendering to spread immediate smoke in response. They will stand in this constantly contested piece of territory. And it seems FaZe Clan feel they've done enough. They have Rain ready to preside. The opportunity, ooh, lots of damage. Karrigan though, he's got his MP9, and it may be all he needs. Ducks, dodges, dips back, it's boom. A necessary frag. Rotates are gonna be hard here. And already, it's been and cuts one down. Robs maintains presence on Banana. Brokey encroaching now. Opportunity still ripe for a FaZe 13. I don't see a kit. They're running out of time. They are running out of time, and especially now, perfecto. Robs' ambitions change now. He's not looking for the round. He wants NaVi to go down with the ship. He knows things are tight, Chad.
Smart play from Robs here. There's no way out. If they're going to try and run out, they're going to have to run past him here. He can get both of these kills with ease, but the round is NaVi's. Robs gets the reaction from the crowd, but NaVi get the 6 knocks onto the scoreboard there. Still a 6-round difference. And you're exactly right, knowing the financial damage that's going to come through with a round like that. Still an opportunity here for Faze to finish this quickly. Right now, NaVi are not in a good place. The fact that they were able to trade out onto that site quite efficiently, I thought that Karrigan did a lot there. It was the kill from Bit down Banana that was key. Stalled it out the low HP. Perfecto with a couple of big frags to his name. Both teams still able to get to a bye because it was a bonus from Faze. They had a lot of SMGs. Now they're into a lot more rifles here. Let's see if the script is going to be flipped.
This battle of utility, so many nades leaving hands, and it's aggression. Oh, what a shot! Rain catches Electronic just as he leaps over the half wall. A quick reaction. The NaVi chants begin again as fans start to believe. Not gonna be easy in somewhat of a hole are NaVi.
See how worried they are here. They didn't have full map control, so the fact that Simple is being that diligent. We're unawares of what Faze are currently set up with. It's a 2-2 spread. Util's light here for NaVi.
Oh, it's well placed. Just gets away from it, relatively unscathed.
Lack of information for Faze here. They are in the dark. No information top mid, no information Banana at all.
Oh, this is going to be a real tight one for these two. 4-on-4, it's easy to find that number advantage in your commitment as that T side.
Broky's been great. 18 kills. He needs a couple more here if they want to test his side of the map.
18, top of the server. NaVi have to get into this bomb site. What a shot out of Bit. That's Galil.
It's all on Robs.
Yeah, he's got to activate. He's tucking in.
Freebie.
And that's a free one. Needs more. They are entering the site. A well-placed nade doesn't quite catch Perfecto. And another successful take of the site. 3-on-3. Wounded a Faze. How are you supposed to crack back into the site? Crossfires have been established. Bit to peek off of contact, but it may not be necessary. Simple finds Karrigan on the crawl through. And some of the sharpest tools now on the way back in. It's going to be hectic. He knows Bit's graveyard, but running out of time. There's one, and it's Perfecto. Secures the round for NaVi.
Really well done there. That was the kill onto Broky, right? Opens up the site, gives them an opportunity to wrap on in. And look, a little bit worrisome there in the final stages, but Faze, now they have to ask themselves a couple of questions. Pinching pennies this time, but it's going to be on the other side of the server on this defense. We saw them have to take an eco late within that first half. They're going to have to do it early within this second. Clawing back into this now in NaVi, and they're doing it with a different pace. It's not this slow default spread. They're actually charging up Banana. So when we talk about the game plan of Faze in the first half, it was Arch side. Clearly NaVi think Banana is somewhere they can pressure early. That's what Robs can do here.
He wants to be a crowd favorite, does Robs?
Saw plenty of that in the show match, Robs.
Yeah, we did. No revolvers here, though. Certainly a few Counter-Strike cowboys. Ray. Oh, that's juicy. He's caught Electronic. They're saving their pennies and really should have no voice in this round whatsoever. But what is that? Simple catches one. Karrigan hit another on the USB, and it has to be Perfecto to pick up the pieces. They got plenty of time. It still has to be a NaVi round. Oh, more damage. Palms a little sweaty now as they do want to get that bomb down. Another big one out of Perfecto at this point. And it loses its potency, albeit foreboding, threatening from Faze. Perfecto has put them down.
It doesn't matter how NaVi are getting these rounds on the board, but you're right, Perfecto, that's the name we have to keep on saying here. In a lot of these situations where it's getting tight, his rounds have been key. Right, the kills that he's been able to pick up, been bailing them out of dodge here.
Kaboom!
Perfectly timed by the crowd on that one. Bomb goes off, round on the board for the difference here as NaVi starting to mount a bit of a comeback, starting to make this one interesting.
Oh, more than interesting, Chad. I think this is where Faze, they thought they were about to just put it in.
Well, we all know the woes that FaZe have had on this map once upon a time. We're going to go back 4 long years. The Boston Major.
I'd argue I don't think it feels like long years for Karrigan. Just seeing him compose himself on the stage. Rain was alongside for that as well. To be so close to that trophy.
Yeah, to get a gun round here on this CT side. FaZe are brought back in. A bit lighter on U2. Rain chipped away at early. NaVi definitely want to take the fights much earlier than FaZe did, and it doesn't feel quite right to be saying exactly that.
3 rounds in consecutive fashion out of NaVi. Can they build further into it? It's FaZe that look to adjust.
So they're lacking utility here, right? So they are going to have to take a couple of these glances with their bodies, put their bodies on the line, not just be able to defend with utility alone. If they softened up this B site early, it is very susceptible right now to a full execute. The way that they're postured here tells me...
What is that?
Yeah, I was about to say that it might have to be a bit of a save if they walk into this B site. And now that they've gotten that freebie, maybe it'll have to be exactly that.
Oh no. A horrible death to stomach for Karrigan. Just a reaction speed test out of Boomage. And there's more to come, way more to come.
It's defensive smoke there towards that short side, trying to corral them here over into Twist domain.
Yeah, it's a potent pairing. Good nade, and Twist actually charging in. He wants 4, and he'll take them both! My God! Simple does manage to keep control only for a moment, as back and forth, trading blows, both wounded and low. And 20 seconds, NaVi need to get into that site. Rain knows it, as does Brokey. It's the bomb on the back of Perfecto. Can he get into the site? The answer is given. No! From Brokey. Bit. Time. Oh my God, it's a dual plan. Makes an executive decision just in time. He will get it down. The young can't stand tall. On the biggest of stages, he can! Oh yes, he can! 9 for NaVi. A triple kill out of Bit, but the last one means the most. As FaZe fans sent back to the doldrums of economic despair.
Show us this one again. Look at the time on the clock. As Bit walks out, he gets that opener. That's the bomb drop. 9 seconds, gets the kill, picks it up at 8 seconds, starts planting. Brokey's pivoted too far back. The bomb goes down, and problems for FaZe now.
19 years of age. How many 19-year-olds are in this stadium today? And one of them does that for NaVi.
Real problems for FaZe now. This comeback is on.
Oh yes, like Donkey Kong. Bye-bye, Karrigan and Rain. Sent back to spawn. A well-placed nade, chips away, unconfirmed, electronic and simple. Lightly tickled, but it's no laughing matter for FaZe Clan.
I wanted to discuss what the game plan for FaZe can be going forward here. We had this same conversation with NaVi in the first half. They were getting blanked. Remember that 8-0 start? It was fantastic from FaZe. Their T side was looking well-oiled, well-drilled. Now, the same thing for NaVi. It hasn't been as clean. In a couple of closer rounds, they've needed the individuals to bail them out. But remember, it was the AWP when it came out for Simple is when NaVi eventually started getting rounds on the board. And now, it wasn't necessarily through his kills early, but it was through the way that they approached the rounds. They're a bit more forward. They were ready to fight. And now the Brokey has kept himself a bit more residual cash here. We should see the same adjustment being made from FaZe.
You know, there's so many candidates that we discussed for NaVi. It looked like Simple. I mean, amazing that he managed to go from 13th or something rated in the tournament to #1, now rivaling that of Bit, who's been in incredible form. Same form by which he dominated in Stockholm. A 2-round deficit now, Chad. FaZe's funds just where they need to be.
This is the first time out here of FaZe, right? This is the first time they're going to have a conversation. The Des talked about it. They don't have a coach behind them, right? They've got the manager there. Unfortunately, Robin can't be here with the team, but Karrigan, he's got a massive brain on those shoulders. He's going to be able to come up with some solution to this, and as forecast, it looks like Brokey's going to be bringing out the big green.
Close to an idyllic bye for both squads. Our 23rd round of play, now just a 2-round gap. Electronic looks like he's got some intent, and supported by the framework of utility. He's already up, and Karrigan, last time he tried his luck, boom, knocked him down. Same state of play. Seems they've at least repelled the first test out of NaVi here.
But look at how NaVi are rerouting right now. This is very telling that they want to try something on the other side of the map here. Right, they've been able to pressure Faze, force out that utility a lot earlier. They're in the dark. This is fantastic for NaVi. That beat pressure throughout this half has been phenomenal. And now they can chop and now change the tide of the rounds here. Another smoke deployed over towards A. That's going to be the final smoke here. Nothing left for Faze to defend with the grey screen. They're going to have to get it done with bullets.
They're not short on individual prowess, Chad, our FaZe clan.
This is on Robs here.
And they are charging into Rob. One and done. Low on Electronic. That should be finished by Twist, and he's done it. Brokey alongside for the ride, running out of players. NaVi can't get through. It's only perfecto. Baits the shot. Beautiful move and a great headshot, but down in the flames. Falls to his own. Started to conjure a little something magic there, but falls foul to his own flame. 30.
Summit would be proud.
Yeah. Wasn't on that major grand final stage, though.
Fantastic stuff from Brokey. Brings out the AWP. They deal with it, and you can see the change there. Timeout back from NaVi here. Coach Blade on the mic. This comeback was looking good. Now starting to get in hot water. 3 more rounds for FaZe to pick up map number 1. We've got Nuke waiting in the wings as map 2. Ancient as the 3rd and final decider if we do need it.
It's quite the map haul.
FaZe might have to make some adjustments here, right? They've noted now, more often than not, that it's fast banana play. Consistently charging up the multiple Molotovs to make sure they can't play sandbag, they can't play mouth the banana. Room taken off them here, and well, here's the little bit of a oopsie from perfecto in the flames. Goes on down, does get that kill. Getting fired up our FaZe. Looks to be same again here, same utility to be deployed top banana.
Oh, that will leave a mark. Blind on retreat. They do elope. Still, it's perfecto. Even though he caught that flak, he finds himself at the front of the pack, changing that now. And Rain wants answers, gets some more than an answer. He gets ahead, and he's not done. He goes for the full commit and gives away the advantage immediately upon acquisition.
Look at this.
Robs wants to change that again. Oh, head on a swivel. There's so many options here, and he started to find some safety.
It's been spotted.
And look at the ankle adopted by Electronic. He should be cut short, and is. NaVi have solved the mystery.
It's on Twist right now.
Oh my God, look at how many are encroaching onto Twist location. This is so tantalizing. They don't know! And Twist only gets the one! A quick react out of it. And that will be enough. That will be enough to return us to that 2-round gap.
FaZe are having real issues with this.
Yeah.
Over towards Banana, they're having a tough time with things. They tried aggression this time round, it hasn't worked. And right now for Karrigan, you're going to have to wonder, what can we do differently? Because if your A anchors aren't getting the job done when they're coming to their site, then that's big issues. If they're coming towards B and they're brutalizing with utility like they're putting pressure on shore, this might have to fall to Brokey to take some aggressive stances with the AWP here.
NaVi are consistently getting that bomb down.
Loss bonus now in the favor of FaZe, so as far as the buys go, they can do this save by, at least they can stay competitive down the home stretch. But if NaVi pull this one back, we had a massive first half haul from FaZe. This was their game to lose. The fact that they win the pistol, Rain gets that ace, looking absolutely phenomenal right now. They get the conversion in the second.
But this is the CT side.
It should be easier for them right here, but they're having a tough time of things as again, NaVi, they want to continue to test this.
Whoa.
Brokey with the AWP takes a shot, is going to be pushed off the line. That utility, it's so overwhelming, and now they know the Orb's here.
They're getting away with it every time. Confirm again, the Orb did not relocate. How are both of these T sides, from Faze and NaVi alike, so imposing? Util from NaVi. Still plenty of it. Still up. Karrigan staring at a grey screen. Flames rattle in. This Twists in a crossfire with his leader to hold and respond to this mid-control. Ouch! Karrigan goes wide. And his eyes fade to black. Electronic may have actually screwed that up a little. Looks good though. Large smoke presence from NaVi. They are really slowly strangling this FaZe Clan defense. Can they find any way to disrupt this, or are FaZe gonna fall yet again to this NaVi execute? Biding their time. Rotates are coming. Roms looks for something, and he just gets led straight between the eyes. Another headshot added to the tally of bit, and just as simple as that. Can they maintain? Looks like Simple. He wants to take more away, will pay the price. Brokey with the information that they are continuing to try and force the issue. Take everything away from FaZe.
Has to be a little bit careful here. It's not like NaVi are out of the water. They can't throw too many bodies at this, so they might just contain them to B, make sure that they can't leave the site. You can see here from Electronic, they don't want anything else to do with this, but this is fantastic work from NaVi now. They're understanding the setup, how to deal with it. FaZe are throwing every trick in the book right now NaVi's way. Like that right there was mid-retake utility. You saw that smoke dribble over top mid. They were going for mid-retake utility. NaVi had the perfect response. Drop a defensive Molotov. They can't push up porch side. You only have to worry about long side. They get that kill. And they get the round.
This is going to be a story of two T sides.
It's going to get more brawly now. Right? I think the FaZe have to start taking a couple bit more liberties in fights they want to take. Maybe take 3 towards B, extinguish the utility coming their way, barrel down Banana, take a fight, be a bit more aggressive in halls, in boiler, try and find that pick on the lurker towards second mid. Because right now, it's not the same fashion in the way that FaZe were able to pick up their T rounds, but NaVi are doing similar scenes. They're getting control of the map much earlier, and then they're applying this pressure to FaZe, and the individuals, they're not standing up right now.
Big round of play. Boomich, blind, catching nades, catching flak. He's already very, very low, but still FaZe fly their flag. Top Banana. Oh, what a flash. No punish. Karrigan that wants answers again. Rain tucked in close, hoping to find that early advantage that has eluded FaZe Clan. NaVi have been so stubborn. And that's a little oopsie. We do see starting to run out of the additional utility.
Yeah, they've just forced out so much early here. Sure, Rain has a little bit left over. That's the best they have to boast right now is NaVi. They are looking threatening here, grouped up, ready to go.
First map of the PGL Major Grand Final. Number 1 versus number 2. Reigning champs release the nades. Keeping them guessing. Karrigan thinking it through, may have overthought it as here they come. It's Twist and Rain, nice headshot. Rain finding 2 on the entrance, it's a third! And a Rain repels, but it's not done yet. Bits makes it so. Bomb needs to be planted. Can they contest? Oh, he saves them as well! It becomes a 2-on-2. This is winnable despite the heroics of Rain. NaVi pulled back into the fray from Perfecto and Bit. It's the A players now from FaZe trying to find a way back in. Oh no, bad smoke. On the hunt. Perfecto, the healthiest member of this retake, and he still stands up. A second and that'll do. herself. Rain did everything, and it's still for nothing. 3 kills from a B defender, Chad, and it does not translate into a round.
Again, perfecto. I can't stop saying his name, right? Those impact kills late. If Karrigan swings on out, spams him through the box, the bomb gets dropped, there's no time left. Perfecto here is the safe pair of hands that NaVi need in this comeback.
You saw Bit's health as well. If Perfecto isn't as precise as
this one here.
Look at that shot.
That's such a huge kill.
Oh, Perfecto refuses to surrender. Will not bow out of this, and we're all tied up. All tied up after an explosive start from Faze. NaVi, they have found their footing. Perfecto, 22. And it's Brokey who puts him down this time. Quick clawed back in this battle for Banana, endlessly waging on. And there's pressure being applied all over the map. Electronic flirting with the fading smoke and finds nobody home. This is early to be having so much of this territory. A well-placed molly, but it's Rob. Slips off, another from Brokey. 2 in the round on that defensive orb. He may need more as Twist has gone down. And he's gone down as well. Bit! Drive-by onto Brokey. And Karrigan demanded to clutch, or NaVi will seize control and take the lead on Inferno. Spotted. Karrigan crawls through, and it's one of the 2, but Bit stands supreme. How many times has he been the last alive, Chad? 23 now.
Feels strange to say this, but it's Faze individuals on the CT side. They're not stepping up with the multi-kills they require. They're knocking on the door, they're coming into their bomb sites, but they're not able to convert multiple kills. One is not enough because the trading right now is better from NaVi. They're playing as a unit, they're believing in this comeback, and they are getting fired up. Look at Simple there, 14-13. Now NaVi take the lead. An 8-0 start for Faze, it means nothing, as NaVi want to rip this one away.
This could be heartbreaking considering how close, how ridiculously close Faze felt. And on the CT side, no less now. A nervous gulp for this international roster as they can feel it slipping away. Simple again finds the opening. It's not a pretty buy. It's the best they could muster. They've rifled behind the sofa cushions, come up with nothing more than a couple of pistols. A singular MP9 Karrigan with just a CZ. And a whole squad chasing him. He does get 2! 2 on a pistol! Is there really something to be said about round 28? There shouldn't be. Brokey, a bit premature. Fade down. Smoke down. NaVi need it. They've got the time to think it through. Wait for the smokes to fade. No boosts to be seen. Apart from this one right here. Oh, you rarely see a T side adopt that. It's given time though for Robs to be somewhat of a late arrival. Oh, he needed that, and Bit again bests him. Now the plant safe enough. Only a P250, and that's NaVi up to 15. 2 map points.
Just so steady here under pressure. Every single time it looks like NaVi might be in a bit of trouble here. They just bow themselves out, they look calm, they hit the brakes, they wait, they hit the necessary shots, and Faze, they can't find anything. They make it interesting, sure, Karrigan with the double here, but this is such a comeback right now. 8-0 start, 15-13 the score reads. Karrigan and Inferno, this might haunt him forever.
10 T rounds, and it may not be enough. They've got 3 on the defense. 3 is all they can muster unless... Is this gonna be the final round of our first map of this grand final? Sport Palace thinks it may be. Quick shot through the smoke, impressive banana control. Faze are starting to look like their former selves. at least in the early posturing.
A little bit different here. Finally, some banana control right now for Faze. How long can they hold on to that defensive smoke? Long side might be the gap here. Twist as well now under pressure. Defensive utility drop. Rotation starting to come in. Na'Vi have a lot of space and a lot of time.
Easy to second guess yourself. This much pressure on your shoulders. Twist responsible. In combination with Karrigan is potentially going to be the Dane. Start his spray. Twist down, and no one provides a response. They have the numbers now on the commit. Karrigan, trigger happy. It's Brokey. Zorb that manages to find something, but already he's been silenced. Na'Vi's trades are so strong. Gets the bomb, gets two again. Karrigan does not surrender. And Simple's got two. And the hand of the Dane. We go again. It had to be someone, and Karrigan's the one to pull up his socks and spray down three.
Felt like he was just trying to bait a little bit of a room for his team right there, but having to do it all, the in-game leader.
Oh boy, last timeout. It's the last timeout in the last round. Should we go OT, they won't have that option, but that remains to be seen.
It's one of the first rounds since the very, very early stage of this second half that FaZe have been able to get full banana control. That's the difference maker right there. They're able to hedge, they're able to get the rotation in, they responded in time. Sure, they lost the opening killer Twist, but Karrigan makes up for that. But this is it, round number 30, map number 1. The buys are in for both teams. Na'Vi, they want to get it done 16-14, and FaZe want to take it to overtime. Here it is again.
Look at number 3. First two, great. That's Simple on an AWP here, and bang. Karrigan extends play. Can they repeat that, though? They've been few and far between, sandwiched amongst 5 Na'Vi rounds, and Karrigan decides he will take matters into his own hands. Rain, aggressive on banana, and it looks like it! Karrigan sprayed! Last bullet finds them, and it's a bit now to recover. Na'Vi off kilter, down a man, bleeding, and asking questions as to where the CTs may have burrowed themselves into. They have to clear, they're gonna take time to do this. Uncertainty in the Natus Vincere camp now, and a man to the good for FaZe and for OT.
What a play to make right here from Karrigan. Aggressive maneuver, only gets one out of it, but has thrown this round into a tailspin. Na'Vi have been good in these number disadvantaged situations, but this time they have no space to work with, combing back through the map, looking for any CTs who are overstepping the mark right now, but a 2-2 split of the defenses, and Na'Vi, if they hit the site together, they'll have the man advantage. Their trading has been on point.
It's been very hard to get a frag and get away. Brokey would love that here in our 30th. Plays it conservative, understandably so. So much attached to a single round of Counter-Strike first map, and they are finding the frags. Simple in, needs a double, and lays down the law. 2 headshots, but they're running straight into the magnificent Van Dolkin. And with a wave of his wand, he gets one. Simple, though, can end it right here, right now, in a one-on-one, a battle of wits between him and Robs, as he and Robs are about to clash. It's overtime! Robs holds his nerve, and we're off to overtime in the first map. That's more like it.
Took us a while to warm into this one, but it's bloody hot in here now, Antwerp!
I mean, we discussed how close and how dreamy of a grand final this is, Chad. And we go 15-15 on our first map of this grand final.
MR3, 10K now, Nosh onto the board here.
Oh, Simple.
That's exactly the shot.
Yeah.
Phenomenal stuff there. The one onto Twist was beautiful. Tried to play it smart, tried to be tricky. Robs keeping his cool, as per the namesake, gets the final kill, and here we go again. The aggression, the balls to go for a maneuver like that.
I really don't know who has that momentum now. It felt like Na'Vi really did awaken on that second half. FaZe, though, proved to themselves that it's not done. Little change up out of the defense here. Be interesting to see how far Rain gets. He's been having his troubles, he's been having his woes, but still looks to stand up tall. Maybe not anticipating this one. Karrigan reads the flash, turns it to perfection. A re-smoke on. Banana will maintain control, but upon the fade, maybe more to be done. Oh my God. I don't know if he knows. Perfecto looking right in him. It's Karrigan good for it. Simple, immediate smackdown through the smoke.
4-on-4, a lot of utility drawn out from Faze here. Finally an aggressive maneuver to take some space. It might just walk straight into this one. Is Bit staying stoic, not overstepping the line right now as the rest of his team work on space elsewhere. Rejigging this defense, Twist back over towards the second letter of the alphabet. Joining Rain, who's perched up pretty. Info could be name of the game here for Faze. If they do want to test the limits, dip their toe into the water, they'll know exactly where this fight's coming. If not, it's all on Twist and Rain to lock this one down.
Yeah, they're staying so static. Distinct number advantage for NaVi. And they set their sights on the second letter of the alphabet. It's Rain again, who should found great success. First in the scope, hard to track. Twist combines for the double, but it ain't done yet. Electronic tasked with a 1 versus 2 clutch on the greatest of stages. And he's got one already, but Brokey right behind. The Latvian holds fast. 26, that puts him on top of the table. Brokey, the very first from his nation to stand on a stage like this, an opponent like this. 1 round, the first of overtime goes Faze's way.
Definitely Faze have refound themselves here, right? It was looking bleak for a while there. They were passive. They thought they were just going to walk this one across the line. But you can see Karrigan starting to look like himself. More aggressive maneuvers, getting stuck in, taking some fights, taking some liberties. Gets them the opener right there. Does get traded out, but sets Faze up on the mantle of a 4-on-4. But we're getting it real close now in some of these rounds. NaVi back into the bite. Back in with this banana aggression, all that util, the smoke to extinguish anything coming their way. Perfecto this time round will just take all the space, all the control. Again, this wasn't noted last time round, so Faze opting to set Rops and Brokey up for success.
It's very well drilled. By taking all of that space immediately, Faze are forced to start dumping. Hey cheese, defensive flashes. Twists. Buys time with Flame on the floor in mid.
It's going to test this.
He wants to. Oh, Brokey. He's been waiting for it this whole time, but Robs 180 to the dome as Bit's gone. They look for answers in mid, but Boomich holds one. There should be a response in Brokey. Faze have the advantage, but they don't have all the answers. A simple catches Robs on his adventures. Cut short. Up long, Brokey disrespects the smoke and keeps Faze hopes of a second on the CT side of overtime. It's simple and perfecto. No better pairing. 49 already. Just between the two of them. And it is simple to test those waters up again. Rain, the pre-aim leaves us right into the deadlock of a 2-on-2, and Karrigan not ready. Oh, he was, never mind, and Karrigan pulls 17. It's a thinking man's game, is Counter-Strike.
Looking to be the oldest player to win a major title. Karrigan steps up when the team needs him most. Flatline simple, takes out Perfecto, and puts Faze back into the winning ways here. 2 more now required. This trading out of Brokey here, he's just all across the shop, trying to find all this space. He gets it, and look at this. Karrigan wasn't ready for it, but able to adjust, gets the kill, ready for Perfecto, finds the frag. And Simple's frustrated with that one. This comeback for NaVi, maybe it was all for naught. Enough money to buy again. The plant's been there. Run boost across mid here, and delivery of the AWP. Neither shot connects.
Valiant attempt, final round of their defensive half of OT. The stubborn Norwegian backed up. Flash to support, facilitate. This is aggressive and yeah, punished. It's perfecto that gives NaVi a man advantage very early. Goes back to the tuck shop, returns with plenty of goodies.
Might get a roof shock here, Rain.
Yeah, he may not be prepared for something this vicious. Straight away already, completely nullified. What can he contribute? Just staring at a smoke and loads his mag, nothing to report. And already it seems NaVi have set themselves up for success. A bomb down and a spray heavy into the first defender, the first responder, a deeper smoke. Will rise, frustrations trying to solve this on the fly. A Faze, there's a little bit of something for Twist. He thought he caught a glimmer of NaVi, but still 5 alive. What can Robs possibly do? You'd need something rather crazy and simple. Says no, this is it. There is one for NaVi, and Electronic makes it so, a triple to end it. Faze just throwing everything they could. See what sticks. A 2-1 division. 17-16.
This is actually huge for Faze. Think about how few and far between the CT rounds came. The fact that they get 2 out of the 3 possible here on their CT side. We know how good these T rounds were, but the question is, have these teams been able to solve the puzzle of the T rounds? Now that has to be asked for NaVi, as they're going to flick on over. They're going to be on the defensive side. And Faze is going to continue with the slow default spread. It's all so long ago right now. But if you missed it, it was just Faze with these very slow crawls, map control, buying their time, trying to target that arch side early, and then they had to change within the final few rounds of play. But that's where NaVi did come alive. It felt within the tail end of that first half they had solved the puzzle, and that AWP of Simple was a key component. It's out here to play.
What can we see off of that opening break? An AWP for either side. The Zoom bangers may very well clash. Simple thinks better of it. Ratchet from the CTs. Certainly has been the name of the game. A choke hold over Banana and the B-bomb site. Faze lay down the game plan. Change the state of play. 20 seconds on the smokes. What do they do? What do they build out of this? They're just crawling right behind the smokes, and already Simple caught off. Completely bamboozled. Only Bit would need to do something really crazy. Because Faze, they have managed to put the 18th on the board, unless Boomich and Perfecto have anything to contribute. It seems he does. Boom. Takes down Karrigan, it's reading the play, but back turns and Twist spanks. Oh, he spotted him out. Rops will close. We have our 18th. NaVi up against the ropes, battered and bloody.
It's a real turnaround from Karrigan. He is up to 24 kills, the second highest for his team. This home stretch that they have been on, he has come alive. He has stepped up in a massive way. He didn't want to go down on a map like this. Inferno in a major grand final could not haunt him again, and he is showing us exactly why. Up and over, takes out the big man himself. Oh. Simple down, the second on the Electronic is perfect, and the third onto Bit. Phenomenal stuff right here. Karrigan cracks it open, and it looks like we might have cracked NaVi here as well.
Pulling out all the stops. Chip damage, margin for error, 0 for NaVi. Constant battle for this part of the map. The T side of Faze was very potent. NaVi know that all too well. Cancel his plans from the can.
Still coming. That's not enough to ward them off here. This could be the finish for Faze. The 8-0 start. They want to do it right here, right now in OT number 1. Their map choice.
And they must have been hot under the collar after NaVi showed just how powerful they are.
There's doubt from NaVi right now. They're not quite sure where this one's going to finish. Simple's just been called off. He was floating over the goat. He's been called to stop one out, and it's just going to be on Bimich and Perfecto. They have to get this done.
They need a multi-kill. They need all the frags. Perfecto, good for it. Perfecto! He has held Faze at the door. And it's Rain that tries to change the dialogue. 20 seconds. Where on earth can they find a way in? 15 as they really look to try to force the rotate. It's one man!
They're in.
Oh, that's the shot!
There's a red
That
carpet
is
into
the shot,
A.
Chad. I think this time 6, 5, 4. And the bomb goes down on the other side of the map. NaVi have got so much to do.
3-on-3, bombs down, 40 seconds already ticking away here. They need to get a move on. They're all out of position, all rotating through the same corridor. Faze is set up to shut this one down, take map 1 right here, right now.
Rob's made this possible. Smoke to allow this gap to close. Bomb is half gone. NaVi's hopes and dreams with it. A couple of kills is all they need. And there's one. Simple, stubborn. Rob meets his fate and is only broken to pull Faze across the line. It's done! Everyone, every single member of that stage thought they had it at one point. Faze, though, leave with the first map of this grand final. Overtime on map 1.
This man on your screen right here, bit of a fan favorite, knows how to work the crowd better than anybody, and he stepped up massively in the final throws of this map. Brokey gets across the line with 30 there to shut things down, but what a game of Counter-Strike. From an 8-0 start, felt like a bit of a sleeper. The comeback from NaVi all the way to overtime, and then this.
Yeah, I mean, that's map 1. That is just a taste of how this grand final may very well go. And I think I want to hear what the panel, the experts have to say after one hell of an inferno.
Karrigan, he's working the crowd, but he is working NaVi more. There is so much to talk about in this one, but Faze, they lock it in on Inferno, even though the odds were against them after they actually gave them away a little bit, because after their fantastic start, they were letting NaVi back into this map. Where shall we start, Mathieu?
Let's talk about the emotional journey for the side of Faze in this game, shall we? Let's talk about the 8-0 lead. Everything is coming in together. You could almost picture yourself already hoisting that trophy, and then suddenly the ghost of Inferno creeps on in. They start losing rounds. Nothing makes sense. People fails rounds they should never fail. We all can see it coming. We can all feel the choke coming. And Karrigan, as a freaking hero, steps up and saves them. How poetic is that?
He said no. He simply said no, right? He was not going to live through another nightmare on Inferno. We saw it in Boston, and as you said, Karrigan said no. Imagine, as a viewer at home, as a viewer in the arena as well, imagine the mental fortitude you got to have as a player in order to withstand the pressure you're under right here. It was a fantastic game of Counter-Strike, back and forth. I want to give massive credit to NaVi as well for fighting back and coming back into that game. And they were at a point up 15-13. They probably should have won Inferno.
They probably should have. And it felt like at some points in this game early on that Karrigan, Faze's fate to lift the trophy, it was predetermined. But the thing is that determinism ain't real. That ain't how it goes. That's not how it breaks down. Karrigan exerting the most free will possible in these moments and actually showing that he can do it himself. His form throughout this tournament has been exceptional, and I'm glad to see it come out on map 1 of the grand finals.
Unbelievable. Just the multi-kills in those crucial rounds, in those overtimes. Let's also spare a word for Brokey. I heard here on the desk, will he be able to do it? Will he be able to do it against the best in the world, against Simple? A resounding yes.
I called him out, and I said I want to see Brokey play well. Without Brokey playing well, there is no way Faze is going to take down NaVi. And in this game, there would have been no way, there would have been no way for Faze to win against NaVi if not Brokey would have played well. He got off to a fantastic start, both with the rifle, but also with the AWP. As we talked about, Brokey, not the most aggressive player out there, despite being involved in a lot of opening duels this time around, but he has this explosive element to him, and NaVi couldn't handle him to begin with.
One thing about Brokey's presence on this map is that he disallowed Simple from doing so much. We saw every round in OT. Simple wanted to peek down mid with the op, but Brokey was holding the line, and Simple knows that tendency of Brokey. Because of that, he takes away some of the playbook of even the best in the world.
What a better start for Brokey. A player that we've talked about, the lack of experience at this level of Counter-Strike, to hit 12 kills in 7 rounds. It's the perfect hand being dealt. He's coming in with confidence, with enthusiasm. He takes charge. That's exactly the Brokey that I was hoping to see.
And we were talking about it, Mathieu, and we saw that camera of Simple sometimes hitting the table time after time after time. What does that say to you?
Tells me that he knows they should have had it. He knows they should have had it. I think they smelled blood in the water. They knew it was happening. They could feel, I guarantee you, when you're playing this game and you're Navi, you can physically feel how stressed the Faze players are. Some situations aren't going Faze's way. Some kills aren't coming through. You're getting flanked and not getting killed. Rain is just giving his life banana. If you're Navi, you sense this win coming over. And that's why we have the frustration.
If you looked at Simple in this game as well, look at the scoreboard. Sure, he didn't have the best of the best game, but he was so razor sharp in that game.
Yes.
We saw a couple of the rounds, especially at 15-14, where he almost pulled Navi back into that round and just lost out to Robs in the very last moment. You know, gambling on the fact that Robs would make a rotation. You could just see with your eye how razor sharp Simple was in that game. So, of course he's upset. Of course he's frustrated. But that's the cool thing about Simple. Usually when that happens, you know what's coming from map number 2.
This round, though, round 29,
Heroic.
This is what we were talking about from Karrigan. The fact that Faze are in such a tight situation. Rops is on an island in pit. Karrigan rotates in a little slow from Navi to try to actually round that corner right there, and it allowed Karrigan to activate himself.
And what does he do next round? When it's round number 30 of the first map of the major, he freaking rushes down middle.
Yeah,
How much does it say about the man? How much do you need? That's all you need to know about his character. Round number 30, he just goes down deep, sprays through the smoke, gets the kill.
It's unbelievable. It's such a game of margins, right? And I think when we were talking about this game in the green room as well, how much is on the brink of, oh, Navi make this heroic comeback and really kick them down in terms of Faze. But Faze, then they hold on to it, and then all of a sudden they get the upper hand going into this next map. And it's such a game of inches, Pimp. So what did it come down to then for Navi? What was not working the way it was supposed to?
I don't necessarily think anything was wrong with Navi, to be completely honest. I want to turn the coin the other way around and say Faze, they've been in this scenario so many times. We praised them for always being in these close games, you know, always going into overtime. And they're getting experience, you know, at throwing rounds, you know, going into overtime and then still finding a way to win. So as much as I would like to point towards Navi and say that was not good enough, I think the fact they fought back and at one point in the game had 2 match points in order to close it out was a massive surprise to me and was well done to Navi. But when we got into overtime, I had the feeling. I've seen Faze play this game before. I've seen them been in this situation before, and we know how good they are closing out these scenarios.
Absolutely. And the thing is that the only thing I would hold against Navi is how slow their start was.
Yeah.
Once it got to round number 9, that was a completely different ball game. I mean, Navi would have won it if it started on round number 9. That's the problem with them in this. That kind of start is not acceptable when you're going into the grand finals. You actually can't give that much of a hole. You can't dig yourself into that big of a hole that early on because you gave such a great effort to try to get back in that one. But at that point, it's just that you're fighting uphill the whole way.
Absolutely. I mean, if we're painting this final as a game of margin, then what about an 8-0 start? That's not even a margin. It's a full freaking page, right?
Yeah.
When you have Electronic, Bit, and Boomich who account for 0 kills after 7 rounds, finally Electronic, you know, gets that first one. There's obviously a huge lack of kills, and this is why Faze got off to such a great start, and that made the difference down to the finish line.
And what was also quite interesting, we were watching this unfold, and we had the first tactical pause out of Faze in round 22, and you both echoed Pimp and Maui like, what is going on here, right? This is, you know, you have a luxury if you're on the side of Navi, you're making this remont. You have Boomich in-game, but you have Blade behind you. I mean, they made it work.
It is a potential weakness, to be completely honest, right? It's not a secret that the normal coach for Faze is not here with them. So Karrigan has even more, I guess, responsibility in terms of calling the timeouts and making sure that the team is ready for it. To use your first timeout 22 rounds into the game is not necessarily a healthy sign, but also a sign of the fact that they did get off to an 8-0 start.
Pimp, isn't it also a sign of the fact that Karrigan just feels confident enough to give the information to his team within that context?
Sure, but I also do think we often on the desk and in general in Counter-Strike, we praise the proactive timeouts. You can be up 8-0 and still take a timeout in order to set up the team for success going on. So right now, there's no doubt that there's a lot of pressure on Karrigan's shoulders.
Absolutely, and I think Navi needs another timeout, and they'll get one before we get on to the next one. It's going to be Nuke. We'll preview that after this.
Esports is what we live and breathe. For us, it's more than a game. It's a reality, where a group of letters can mean everything. Where Mirage is a place for bombs, battles, and glory, not an illusion. Where the true heroes are those in front of the screen. GG Bet. This is real.
The wait is finally over. Time for you to grab your tickets and watch greatness unfold at the PGL Arlington Major.
With all due respect, we don't care about Arlington right now. We care about Antwerp. We care about those two teams on stage who are giving us a final to remember. NaVi versus Faze. Faze being able to clutch out that first map, and we're going on to Nuke. Talk to me, guys, about the pressure cooker that is this arena. Pimp, you've used this word before, but about what it takes for you to be on that stage and be able to or close it out or fight back if you're not.
Oh, it's hard to describe, right? It's up to each player individually. I'd almost say, some players cope with it in a different way. Others, thrive under that pressure. They almost love the pressure. I get the sense that Karrigan is one of those guys who just love to be on the stage, love to be playing with the crowd. And the more pressure he gets, the better he performs as well. We saw that on Inferno. So I think all players right now are in their own mind right now. And of course, there's staff behind both teams trying to calm them down and let them put focus on what's coming ahead of them, which is Nuke.
I think this first map is such a test for the mental resilience of either side. It is about how you can manage your emotions when you are NaVi and you could see yourself win the first map, going into Nuke, a map that you have been warming up, rising up your level, but suddenly the dialogue changes, the story changes, and so you have to adapt. You have to think about it in a different way. It's not a sprint anymore, it's a marathon, and you have to pace yourself.
Yes, but the thing is that right now, FaZe have full trust in their entire team. Everybody on that team had their moments in map number 1. And at this point, when you see them down, even in a 2v3, 1v2, doesn't matter. They have full faith in their whole squad. The team has uplifted to a point where FaZe feels unstoppable. The fact that they weathered the storm in map number 1 gives them such a mental edge coming into Nuke.
I'm glad we're looking at Electronic right now, because I think the world is looking at Electronic. He had a rather quiet Inferno game. We're moving on to Nuke. He used to be the absolute reference on the T side. Remember, NaVi is going to start there. He is going to have to pierce through that defense. Whenever NaVi were unplayable on Nuke, it was no way to avoid Electronic.
Let's go back 2 days if you're a NaVi fan. You're standing in this quarterfinal and you're playing Heroic. You play Inferno, Heroic's map pick. Heroic beat you on Inferno, but you go on to win that series, which in part helps you get to this final. What did they tap into then him. And what will they have to tap into now in order to do that again?
Let's go even further back than just that game, right? Coming into the major, Nuke was one of the question marks for Na'Vi. We didn't really know where to put it. It was a very strong map for them during the PGL major in Stockholm, and one of the few reasons why myself and a lot of experts out there were doubting a little bit in Na'Vi. The map pool, was it as strong as it was during the PGL major in Stockholm? I would have said no, because Nuke was not part of that strong core. Now, 2 days ago, as you said against Heroic, that's when we for the first time saw Na'Vi play Nuke again, and they did it to a very high level. Yesterday as well, even higher level, absolutely demolishing their opponents. So, just a couple of days ago, we actually questioned whether or not Na'Vi could play Nuke. Today, I don't think we're afraid of that.
We're not. Or Electronic is not either.
No.
That man had a monster performance against Heroic. He couldn't lose a duel. While playing outside, while playing that defensive side, 24 kills and a half. Unbelievable numbers that he was putting up there, and he was outmaneuvering everybody from Heroic. He was outplaying in the mid-round. He was finding openings for his team. That is something that he is going to need to do today. We have put so much pressure on him to be this big game player. There's no bigger game than now.
I agree that the defense for Na'Vi was strong as hell. I absolutely agree, except they're going to start on the T side.
Yeah.
And this is where the story gets a twist right here. If you're Faze, with that win on Inferno, you have been gifted the greatest opportunity you might ever dream for. You are moving on to the CT side of Nuke to close the grand final of the major. Against Cloud9, 8-1 on the CT side. Flames, 10-1 on the CT side. They've been rock solid on the defense.
Maniac, what does your gut tell you when you're looking at this phase and the way they bounce back even within the context of Inferno? Will they close the door?
Look, the seed of doubt has been planted by Rain making a few mistakes on Inferno. I'm going to start here because he is the pillar when it comes to the outside defense of Faze. I think whenever he's in the zone, he's unplayable, untreatable, unavoidable. But on Inferno, he lacked that measurement. He lacked that composure at times, and he needs to reset. We've painted him as a potential MVP candidate for this major, but that takes a better performance on Nuke.
My gut feeling says Faze right now. I think they've been gifted Nuke in this matchup. I think the fact that Na'Vi picked into Nuke is a gift and a half for Faze. It's 96 days since Faze last lost on Nuke. Ooh. They have taken down teams like Copenhagen Flames, NIP, Cloud9, Mouse, Furia, and Heroic. Most of those games being single digits, which means they weren't even close at all. It's a team that is playing Nuke right now, where I would call them the best team in the world on the map, and that is the map Na'Vi choose to pick against Faze. That is a task and a half.
Pimp, I'm on the other side of the coin. I got Na'Vi. Look at the last 22 rounds. Look at the last 22 rounds of what they did on Inferno. They were the better team. They won more of those rounds. It was just a slow start that hampered Na'Vi in that map number 1. They have come to play. They've woken up. I don't know what it took for them, but they're here right now, and I think that those uncharacteristic mistakes from Rain are such a huge cause for concern, because Na'Vi have one of the best and most innovative outside approaches. The little smoke that they throw next to Mini Garage on that corner, Electronic has made that his default. He has mastered that. He's cornered it. He's written a book about it, and he's ready to slap Rain in the face with it.
See, I buy your recency bias here a little bit, because you're right, the last 22 rounds, it's been looking very solid for Na'Vi. They have rediscovered that the Nuke is a map they can play at a very high level on LAN. All I'm saying is, if that was the best map you could pick as your own map pick going in against Faze in a final, are you really in a good position? Are we really not doubting that Na'Vi's map pool is not as strong as we thought so? I think Faze have been given a gift here.
How poetic would it be for Na'Vi to fight back on Nuke? If anything, the map that had put them on that Stockholm podium, right? The map that made them unplayable back then when they lifted their first trophy. And now, when we have doubted their map pool, when we have criticized it, we've picked it apart under the macroscope, suddenly they pick up pace and momentum on that map, and they fight back, push us to number 3.
And we've seen good T-sides out of both of them, actually. Unfortunately, Na'Vi couldn't push it enough to close out that first map. But Maui, you say about Electronic, right? You say about that smoke. We have a Karrigan here who has seen that. He has seen that many a times. Do not have faith in him to not walk into the trap that many teams have before him on Nuke versus Na'Vi.
Electronic does know that smoke better than anybody. You know that Karrigan's looked at the footage, though. But the thing is that Na'Vi, they got mix-ups on it. They're not always going to use it the same way. Electronic has at least 4 different plays that he runs with that singular smoke, and you never know what he's going to do with it. They throw the same nades every time. They make it look identical. It's just, where does he pop out of it? And the thing is, at the end of the day, Rain versus Electronic right now, with the form that I've seen with them in the playoffs, I'm picking Electronic to win that fight.
Look, the only worry that I have for Na'Vi, when we talk about T-side, we do the comparison with Karrigan and Faze, that I think sometimes they like that 1 kill, 1 round kind of simplicity to the game. If you're Karrigan, you don't always have to use your 5 million neurons. Sometimes it's just a contact play. It's a kill that gets you in. You can take a deep breath. Na'Vi play a very deep Counter-Strike on Nuke.
Listen,
it's
there's
very
no...
slow, it's very annoying, and it'll take the oxygen out of you.
You're right, and you're almost taking the oxygen out of me right now, Matthew. I just want to pull out one more point right here. The fact that there's no weak link within Faze when it comes to Nuke. Rob's being the highest rated player for this team with a 1.33 rating on average whenever they're playing Nuke. Guess who's the lowest rated player for Faze? Karrigan with a 1.17. If that is supposed to be your weak link, you are very, very strong on Nuke.
Faze on match point, on major point already. If they are able to close it out on Nuke, let's see if Na'Vi can fight back with our casters.
Thank you very much, Antwerp Sport Palais. It is the second map of our grand final. Nobody knows whether we go to 3, but it is going to be a lot of fun to find out. We've got any Na'Vi fans in the house? I'll take that as a yes. And how about a little bit for Faze Clan? Damn, I'm calling that 50-50, Chad. We are getting ready. We're going into the pistol. Second map, Faze on the very edge. A map to the good. Inferno in the bag. Picked up in overtime. A CT start for Faze Clan. Raid, Brokey, Twists, Rops, and Karrigan to receive Na'Vi. Already. A lot riding on this Norwegian shoulders as he, what? With the Glock, no less. Boomage gooshes him. Smokes are in, the flash, perfect. Destined to find Rain. And he's blind, but he is not dead. He stands for 2. Out of Rain, long range. He looks for more. He has support, and Brokey, oh, he puts 2 into the net. And that's gonna feel sensational. 5 alive in the pistol of the second map.
How does Rain recover from that? The insta-goose right there from the heavens, dropped on down to low HP and course corrects for 2 massive kills. This guy has been phenomenal on the CT side of pistols so far, and Brokey comes on through. He wants some. Doesn't want to leave it all for Rain here. Twist with the final, and that is a great start for Faze. No plant, no kills, nothing for Na'Vi to know as they move into round number 2 with just a couple of light upgrades here. P250's Deagle in the hand is Simple. That's the best they have to boast right now, is Simple up and over. We're going to find a leering head, has the opportunity to look for Rain. He's going to be tasked with dealing with this yard round after round.
Just having a little glance across from Trophy. Rain trying to use every trick in the book to find information in the absence of a fight. And there's a flash for it. Oh, he gets away with it. Spotted Simple, and as easy as that. Rain racks up his 4th as well. Electronic leaping down to his demise, and a clean sweep.
There's no way that Faze start this half as strong as they did Inferno. That 8-0 streak, and then we went to the overtime barn burner here. If Faze are able to get off to such a lead so early again on the CT side of Nuke, this could be lights for Na'Vi here. This man on your screen, Bit, he went through the last major, his first major, without losing a single map. This time round, it's the grand final. He's already dropped 1. They have to fight back here.
Yeah. A strong CT haul from Faze would certainly roll out the red carpet.
Look at this, there's 3 of them here, Alex.
Quick finish, and yeah, they have already called quite an ambitious setup. So Rain responsible for the low side. Smoke enables and facilitates an early presence, a knock on the door out of Electronic, but he may not be ready for this. They're flashing top side. Na'Vi trying to apply pressure all over the map at the same time. Look at this, and already Rain doesn't account for Electronic. Karrigan, the knee-jerk reaction is to go poking and prodding into lobby, but Bit snaps his neck upon arrival. So Na'Vi already get their teeth deep into round 3. The CTs, they hedge their bets. Twists gonna have the opportunity for greatness right in front of him. Has he really got what it takes against Simple? Bit throughout this half is going to be tasked with maintaining control of that lobby. He's passed his first test, and it seems so have Na'Vi.
Might be committing here. Look at all the bodies heading down towards this lower side. Broky's already up and in the window here. Could cause a bit of a ruckus. Hasn't been cleared out just yet, and there is a gap right now. 30 seconds on the clock. Broky spotted out now. Boomich takes care of that one, and just one man to find a Rops. I'm sure he wants to hold on to this for 20 seconds. Bomb to be planted, 40 thrust onto the clock, and round number 1 for NaVi secured. Would have to be a 1-on-5 here for Rops, and I don't think he wants anything to do with this.
Yeah, a little lackadaisical from Rain on the way up secret there. Was the first to fall in that house of cards quickly, did come tumbling down.
Was a bit of a risk there from Faze, right? So that they left Yard weak. They knew that NaVi were going to take that space. So what they operated with doing was with strengthening ramp and trying to rotate down lower and get ahead of them. But wasn't ready for the fast moves of Electronic. He has been fantastic towards that Yard position. So this is great for him. Didn't have the best of games over there on Inferno, but if he can start off Nuke in a strong fashion towards Yard, that's what the fight's all about. Rain versus Electronic and the space that they can take.
Right. Full team effort that round from NaVi. Only Perfecto without the frag. Rops was the one he was supposed to be finding, but everyone gets off the starting marks.
There's enough money here for Faze to invest again, and that's by virtue of those first 2 rounds being clean. Nobody died in the first 2 rounds to play for Faze, so the residual cash left over. So let's get the buy coming on through, and NaVi will know exactly this. Having to worry about a couple of booby traps in a round like this is...
Typically, you need a lot of incendiaries to slow and stop anything quick towards the top side.
Well, let's see if they go for a gamble again, right? Because they were happy to give up space early here. They might want to do the same again. Towards main with Twist. Rain to oversee Yard on his lonesome here as Broky tries to batten down the hatches towards the A site. No quickness this time out of NaVi. They're going to be taking their time as the smokes fly on over and obscure the vision of Rain. Could just be selling a couple of footsteps there from Electronic. He's postured forward, now backs off. Plenty of utility left for NaVi if they want to go for a second wave with the mollies, with the flashes, a couple of smokes too as Karrigan. This is a ballsy play.
Yeah, no, he is looking to destabilize. He knows he'll go down, but how many, if any, can Karrigan get from this booby trap? Twist is the one to provide an overwatch. Rain in hell, and that's Karrigan spotted. Oof. And allowed to retreat. They hold on to their advantage. And extend it as well. Simple. Sat down. 48 NaVi. 3 components left. And still room to maneuver. Broky hard commits to defend the top side. Chip damage. Twist and Broky. They are doing it. Broky has hold them at bay. A quad kill from the Latvian. NaVi, very brief celebrations. Faze up to 3.
Broky's keeping his cool here. He's never been in a major grand final before. Rain and Karrigan, sure, we all remember the NaVi players. Simple's been in 4, Electronic's been in 3. This is the second for Boomich, and of course Perfecto here as they look to go back to back, but Faze look to change the history books. They would be the first international team to ever win a major.
Back in the day, we thought it was impossible, and Rain believed. The longest standing member stands to receive NaVi.
What a menace here. He's tucked in again. He's taken the first fight, and they're still coming his way. Rain's looking to do more damage.
He has a smoke, but he might just use his weapon. They're ready, but so is he! Rain! That is absolutely ludicrous! NaVi! The round's just begun, and only 1 remains. It's bit. To lift a major trophy in your rookie year is something very few can boast.
Show us that one again. The Norwegian stepping up massively towards this Yard position here has ruined NaVi's finances early, as it felt like it was going to be competitive. He does this, takes the fight ahead of the smoke wall here. That's the man he has to deal with. That's the heads-up duel, but this is it, just shutting it down. There's no way through. And Rain wins that one single-handedly here as NaVi are left scratching their heads. This is a great start right now from Faze as NaVi have just lightly invested into this one. A couple of deagles, that's the best really they have to offer here. Limping a smoke forward, hoping to find a gap, hoping to create something. Some light utility, but this man can't be stopped. He wants to continue to take fights, and so does Karrigan. Finds Bit. First body in the grave for round number 6 of play.
Electronic wants trouble. But Rain is so dialed in right now. Managing his angles. And the app waves goodbye to Boomich. one at a time. Last two around that red container. It's a solid dig. Will look to stay competitive as Karrigan is actually added to the naughty list. Oh, okay. This is scary. Two remain, and they have to just pull up their socks and find it. It's Twist to do just that. Finds two of his now three frags, and it's 5-1.
Beautiful stuff right there. Great shots out of NaVi short. Put everybody on edge, especially Faze, but they knew where they were. They wanted to take the fight. They took the fight to them in towards this yard position. There's a couple of those bangers again. Perfecto continuing to find this impact. Not to convert the round. Back into play now. No AWP here for Simple. Still going to be operating with these rifles in hand. Squeaky blown off. Maybe a pace change.
It looks like it. Threatening. But cancelled by the flame and smoke. So back to readdress the blueprints. Do they really want to test Rain again? They will deploy the smokes. Is it smoke? And a commit remains to be seen. NaVi divide and look to conquer. Oh, spot amazing there. So Electronic will be primed, and now the pressure comes from elsewhere. Bin trying to be that lobby presence. Faze flying blind at the moment. I think, oh, he's caught a whiff of NaVi's leader, and Boomich is the first to fall. Another frag for Rain. 10 already, and the round ain't done. Electronic pulls us back into an even 4-on-4. No info yard now. Rain gone. And only 13 seconds. NaVi need frags. Simple's found two. He needs another now, and they can plan. Access to the site is granted, but Rob's looking to deny. A 1v2 for Robin, Cool, Electronic, and Robs. Huh? Okay. His brain fills with opportunity. Electronic adopts the angle so light on time. Rops needs to hit the first bullet upon contact. I sense, and not a chance. Not on Electronic's watch. It was Simple and Electronic. In the dying lights of that round, they had, what, 13 seconds as contact is found, chat. That was flying by the seat of their pants.
I think they were hoping the lobby push would come their way. Whoa. That's why we're so late on here, but Simple having to do it all, just rolls on in. 3 massive kills, and Electronic will clutch out. You could see there, you wanted to get a new port of call for Rops, but it took way too long. Too many question marks here. As look at the buy coming in for NaVi. A little bit light on against purchases for Faze. They're looking limp here as well. This time nothing towards that yard position early. They've thrown a smoke or two, and this is Karrigan trying to push on in. He's not going to get anything done. Perfecto's found the first.
That's an upgrade as well. Thank you very much. Boomich already breaks open the door. Flames put Twists down. Only Rain, and it's his site as well. Not just yard. He's going to hold the whole site. Roki, aggressive over the top. A great AWP shot. AWP is not the only thing to boast. A double kill out of Rain, and now that bomb does need to be planted, but so much time, and already the gaps are closing. That 5-7, potent at close range. An interesting turn of events. 60 seconds cut down with a plant and a spotted out Robs. Rain last spotted main as well. They'll smoke him off. Simple. Already 2 frags to the good and a third, a tap. Doesn't quite steal it. Crossfire is to be broken, and it's Rain again. 3 kills. Can Faze pull this across? He's trying every trick, and they do it! Absolutely nothing left in reserve, but a triple kill out of Rain, and when it rains, it does pour here in Antwerp. He started strong and seems to be holding on for the squad in the absence of the others. He defends that top site.
He's been an absolute rock right now. That round should be done. Simple and Electronic again almost snatched one away. The two of them piecing this one together. Rain finds the timing, gets the first, chips his way forward, gets a bit of room to work with, and then even gets away. This kill onto Simple was great. He didn't want to continue to face towards Squeaky because he knew that's where Rops resided. Didn't want to give the fight over, but they give the round up instead. 6-2, 4-round lead is Faze. They can get a bite back, but both of these teams here are a bit brittle in that department.
That's not pretty.
We're at a turning point right now. Faze can consolidate this. They can run away with the half, and that is massive right there. More from Rain, another opener.
He's having a career high as he returns to the highs of 2018. Harvard Nygaard, age is just a number. As he looks to rack up more for him. Farming NaVi on the grand final stage. Boomich accepts his fate, and Simple joins him. There's nothing left for NaVi here, just misery upon arrival. A half buy, and Perfecto made a half ling, 20 HP. Nothing to be celebrated here as Faze. They are up to 7.
Rain is an absolute beast right now. We're 7 rounds in, he's found 5 opening kills, and he's got 5 multi-frags. This guy is just an absolute monster. Locking them down, they can't get any space. The one round that NaVi got early, Electronic was able to flatten them here, but they're running out of ideas, they're running out of options, and NaVi now, this is feeling bleak.
I'm just gonna read the scoreboard one more time, guys. 16-4, it is round 10 in 9 rounds of play. Rain is pulling Faze closer and closer to a trophy lift that will forever live on in the history of this video game. It's a full weapon round, a couple of compromises. If they could bring down Rain, NaVi would have a whole better chance at converting a third here.
Just need to knock him over the opening kill. Just don't let him find that first frag. Make sure that he's kept quiet. Make sure he has to drop on back. Room has been granted. NaVi have done enough to ward him away for now. The reposition here up towards the heavens. Trying to deal with so many positions. They've slipped the net in multiple occasions. Warehouse, Secret, Main, all currently reside right now for NaVi.
Are they accounting for Boomich? Are they accounting for the gap that left by Rain as he repositions, and that is an opening? Perfecto. And looking to clear his corners, Karrigan meets Boomich and gets away with murder. Cold-blooded murder. 3 HP on him, but he's away.
Big push right here. They're going to get this lobby control. There's nobody home for NaVi. They're all gathering towards this yard position, the only place they have space. Karrigan's blocked the smoke. He's ahead of it. He knows that nobody's going to push their way down the vent. And already dealing with this lower site is going to be Rops.
So answers provided. Absence of NaVi in the lobby, but time sensitive, and you can see that Rob's opting for a passive approach. Perfecto wants to go arrive late elsewhere.
This is going to be way too late here. Perfecto's not going to be able to contribute anything.
Yeah.
Rops might be winning this one right here, right now.
He goes looking, and Electronic brought down. There's another to be had, and the bomb is loose. NaVi, nothing! Absolutely nothing! And no time for this one. Faze will have won out the CT half in the first 10 rounds of play.
This is cruisy now, feeling cushy of Faze. Sure they remember Inferno and how that one slipped through their fingers. They had to do it the hard way. But Faze are looking hot right now, and the big red button has been hit. NaVi to call the timeout, getting Blade on the mic. They've had some pretty broken buys, right? They haven't had everything they need. A save from Perfecto here is going to bring the AWP into the hands of Simple for the next round to play, but nobody else can buy around him. And this one's getting away from them quick. Think about the nature in some of these rounds are happening. They're just all getting shut down to Rain towards yard. When it is late, they're making it competitive, but they're not able to convert them every single time.
Okay, they've called upon Simple.
This is the thing, right? This is held across, but Karrigan's up to go into an MP9. You might see a bit of aggression coming out of them. Simple could put a stop to Rain and all this space he takes towards yard. He has to know this is in play, has to know it could be a possibility here.
Well, the flash certainly implies as such. Simple's first foray out yard finds nothing.
There's only so many options where Simple can look until he has to force the issue. And FaZe know this. They know that it's been saved into the next round of play. So they're not going to be jiggling corners as much. They're playing some different angles to make sure that they're not so susceptible to that AWP. But again, time seems to be the issue for NaVi. These rounds always tend to end so late as Rain is calling silo clear.
Can he really rack up any more? 16-5. He has been a thorn in Navi's side. Constantly changing it up, constantly kept guessing, and Simple's AWP does naught. And now Rain can once again bring the pain. He's not even needed. One in the back. Bit the lobby lug, they know, and Karrigan does catch flag from that Tech 9. A great second, and they're closing the gap quick. Caught out completely. As we reach 9, now FaZe got off to a flying start on Inferno. We saw we did go the distance on it. Difference being this is the defense of Nuke.
This is the thing, Navi were humbled here. They took what was more or not essentially a save. So now they can actually get into a full buy, have everything they need to operate with. And if they want to start the comeback again, they can. But they're never going to feel comfortable in this game with a scoreline like this.
It's now or never. You're down a map. Down 2-9. You're reigning champions. Up against the #1 undisputed contender. And Rain leaves empty-handed on his initial sprays. Na'Vi successful.
They're across here. They've got the space they're looking for, but the rotator's already on down. Going to be carrying him to deal with this. He's just playing a spot and fall, right? This is just for info. As soon as he gets any info, he's going to open that decon door. He's going to tuck his way. Maybe not.
Do they just respect that?
Yeah, that's going to stall them out here. So they got a couple of options. Wait this out or drop on back. They're pinned on into this juncture. Don't really have any space to work with across the map and having to worry about this flank now. A minute on the clock, so still plenty of time. Navi with plenty of space, but Karrigan trying to be an absolute nuisance here. Follows the nade through. Just very light smattering of damage there. Nothing to really write home about. But once again, Navi have just been stalled on out. The rotations can come through. FaZe can get all this room as here comes the fight. Karrigan, he's going to take the initial exchange, but dropping back, forcing them further forward.
And it might be the first test for Robs in his ramp room, and already, and waiting, it's Robs on the double. And there's Karrigan for good measure. Only Electronic can stand in their way of a 10th. Necessary damage done. Can they convert? Up against it, up against the ropes. Simple Electronic, though, not to be underestimated. Broky's off, is out of the round. Simple, he takes another, and no! The Flames! Twist will get it! Na'Vi just so close on the precipice of a third, and it's Twists to shatter their hopes and dreams as a 10th is in the bag.
This is miserable right now for Na'Vi. It's always Simple and Electronic in these late rounds trying to get it done. They're not getting the help from the team that they require. Sure, Perfecto's had a couple of nice shots in that Deagle. Bit only has 4 kills, and guess what? Boomich has started yet another map extremely slow. Inferno, who was kept on that donut for round after round, well, at least he's got 1 to boast to his name, but this is running away from them here. FaZe just needs 6 more rounds to 2-0 Na'Vi and pick up the first major trophy for all 5.
Karrigan's been at this since 2008, and it's Karrigan who meets the flames of Simple. Perfecto up top side. This is looking better than it has in time for Na'Vi. They've got the world at their fingertips in this round. Already a re-smoke to deny the boost and maneuver. They are down a man, but they have the control. Simple could shave some time off of the clock with the plant, punching in the digits, and a missed shot. Robs, a double AWP, not ideal for a retake. Far from it. Maybe somewhat of an equalizer in this man advantage phase. Prepare for the commitment. 2 AWPs looking to rain down hellfire from the heavens, and they get nothing at the hands of Na'Vi. 3 for Simple, as they find something to remedy the hemorrhage. A bandage found. And you can see how close the rounds have been, because FaZe will have to swallow their pride in round 14.
Really important round right there on Faze with the number advantage. I think that lured them in, but you hit the nail on the head with this comment about the double AWP. How are you meant to get in? Even with that one way, you don't hit the necessary first shot, and Simple will punish. That's a round back here, but NaVi, the best they can do is salvage this half. A buyback from Faze here. They don't want to allow this one to steam out of control. Karrigan steaming forward here. He's in the thick of it. He's in the smoke. He's found the fight. He can't get the first. Boomich has got him.
But it's Rain, and he's got two! Boomich and Electronic. Hamstrung, but stand strong. Only a FAMAS MP9. They fully invested here. NaVi already within touching distance of a fourth. But salvage is the word, Chad. Salvage is the word for this half. No room for error. And it seems it's going the way. Only Brokey could perhaps stand in the way. Could he be a spanner in the works in any way, shape, or form? The answer, a resounding yes.
Two of them are low. This is possible.
Okay, Brokey. They want him, and he stands up again! Two headshots from the Latvian! The Latvian!
There's a chance!
Latvi can! It's 45 seconds, and the bomb will go down, but look at their health! Look at their health! Robs puts on the red cape. Has he really got a hero in him? Info. Boomich pulls the trigger. Robs tentative. Hesitant. Overthinking now as he just needs to put a bullet into both of them. They're both so low. The crossfire will engage with both simultaneously. He knows. Well, not one bullet. Just connect, but there's Electronic. It's NaVi 4. With a tiny scrap of health, they do recover it. Finest margins separating these teams and these rounds.
Done the hard work here again. It's late from NaVi. But they are posting the rounds on the board here. They've broken Faze. That purchase that they just made, it was audacious. They wanted to take the fight before things got out of control, but now they have some massive problems here. Contending for round number 15 to try and deny the 5th for NaVi. Just a couple of upgraded pistols and a couple of MP9s. Fantastic work on the openers there for NaVi, but can Rain again really be that nuisance, posting up with the deagle in hand. Might be able to completely circumvent his position here with the smokes already up. You can see so many dotted towards this yard position. And as they stay completely silent and quiet, yard control will be relinquished. Faze will have to give up this room, and that means they're going to tuck in towards the bomb sites.
It's unannounced. Not a peep out of the Faze comms.
Now we have all the advantages in a round like this. Util in their favor, weapons in their favor. Faze are just going to try and get this done with the weakest of buys.
Yeah, you've got to do it dirty. And the first opportunity goes awry. How many more will they get in a round like this? Final round, second map, first half, and just pistols. Peanuts, a nice shot though. It's one out of Brokey. You need to hold on more where that came from, and NaVi do not buckle. They will not succumb to your meager Diga, and one left. Just one, he's gone. A 10-5 half. Can we categorize that as a recovered NaVi?
They've definitely recovered the half here. 3 consecutive might give them a bit of momentum, but they need this pistol round. They desperately need this pistol round in the second half to start things off early, because if they're on the back foot again and they have to battle back, NaVi can do it. They brought it back on Inferno, but you would love to give yourself a bit of breathing room. This team looks stressed. They look tense right now. Everything is working for Faze. Sure, Rain, 18 kills. It bought you a massive buffer, but it's a buffer. It doesn't matter. The major grand final here, you just need to get that 16 on the board. Simple and Electronic, they've been absolute stars to help NaVi out in round after round. Leading the charge here, Perfecto not too far behind, but now on this defensive side of things, Bit, he's going to look to be tested over towards ramp. Boomich plays an influential position, rotating around. Everybody needs to activate for NaVi now. If they want to take this to a third, if they want to deny Faze, getting this 2-0.
You know Karrigan has walked them through this pistol. Every movement, every shake of their tail. Well drilled.
Pace to this.
Whoa! A goosh! The first connection, and Electronic on notice. Look at this as Robs, they will react to the descent, but he is quick on their heels. Simple, burnt out, he knows, and so do they. He will fall in a battle of attrition. It's Boomich that does nothing, and this compulsory pistol completely denied. Rain got Perfecto dead to rights, and it's spotless. Stone-faced off Faze as they're 5 away from doing what no international team has done before in front of an arena, sold out to the rafters to celebrate Counter-Strike. Sport Palais, are you enjoying this? 10 years Counter-Strike has been our game of choice, and we all are here united in celebration of its greatness. It's nothing more than a force buy out of NaVi. They need a miracle. They need something special, and they've certainly got the players to do it.
Lots of bodies here, need to hit the shots.
My son, he's only got the dig, Chad. He's got nothing else.
Just trying to lure them in here. Look at the trap that's been set up. It's been run time and time again from NaVi in this tournament here. They're going to clear their corners.
Oof. Sketchy, and that's lovely. That's
Has to hit that
supposed to be a frag, Electronic. And and he does it again. 21 for Rain, and he may not be done. One back, a shot across the bow, twists, takes one, and it's still Rain, still a problem. FaZe Clan counting on him now, united with Rops. This is competitive out of NaVi. They have achieved a mid-round, but it may not last long because Perfecto's been hunted. Rain is such a big game player and a big game hunter as he looks for another headshot. Oh! Bit gets out the defibrillator and breathes life into NaVi's nuke. That is exactly what they needed, Chad. One blip for the heart monitor as NaVi may not be done. Let me see that again. Bang! Oh, you naughty boy. 19 years of age, this kid, and he's pulled NaVi back from the brink. That's the second round force spy converted, and Rain was online the whole time.
4 massive kills for Bit right there. Need to string 2 together here, NaVi. Not out of hot water just yet.
They might want to test him again. I'm not sure I would after the dig. Magic. He's the only one with the M4, and Bit puts Rops on the floor.
That's the AK down right there, the biggest weapon right now with this Faze force buy. It's already been dumpstered. Bit wants to get this out of dodge, he will. Very risky maneuver right there, but has completely denied NaVi picking this weapon up, so removing one instrument from the Faze arsenal here.
Can they really do one back? This shifting power courtesy of Bit.
But they're down, and on the sound cue there, Brokey spamming away. Will get found, the bombs drop, but that's not confirmed. Kills continue to come NaVi's way, and it feels like they've dealt with this now. Karrigan been able to find a little bit of room, and Rain down the vent! I know where he is, but this is where Karrigan has to activate. There's still plenty of time on the clock, gives him a smoke. Can cause a couple of issues for NaVi now. It's all on Karrigan to find the room that Rain has provided.
Trying his luck, and how is the back turned again? Another upgrade. 2 frags, starting to level things out. This advantage crumbles, but the time is a problem. If they could just find perfecto, it's a no. And it's a 7. Simple, you can see, fully focused on the objective ahead of them. They have to have a strong defense. 5 demanded of FaZe.
That's all they needed right there from NaVi, though. They're back in this game. Right? I know the scoreline right now, there's still a 4-round deficit, but the fact is FaZe are going to have to take a save. They can't force by back in. They didn't get the plant. They get a couple of kills. They keep NaVi stressed, but there's no way you can continue to push the issue here. You are going to have to sit back on your haunches and just rock with 4 Glocks and a Deagle in the hands of Rain. Now, Rain will have to do something out of this world. He has been amazing. But to claw them into a round like this where they've already lost Rops, he hits the deck too. Electronic starting to light up the scoreboard, and the NaVi CT side beginning to wear into action. That's a clean sheet.
Spotless. They will once again be equipped. Slightly light on. 5 Kalashnikovs brought to the server for round 20.
Yeah, whatever Faze's opening move here is, they are going to have to follow through. They don't have enough to go back for a top execute, no crowd control utility to make this one interesting. So stalling this one out, taking some time, leveling the playing field with the utility before you get stuck in with your smoke wall appears to be the name of the game. Squeaky blown off, lobby presence noted, and you can see them just sitting back. Now they deploy the smoke wall. Now they can get them some space to work with. And it's Rain again to take this on his lonesome. Clearing out Electronic's favorite hidey hole.
So the wall down and a full magazine expended should mark across and a safe passage for Rain.
It's all about how they deal with the rotations right now with NaVi, where they pull them to across the map. Now on the pistol round, Faze looked great at doing that. Let's see if Karrigan has another maneuver up his sleeve here.
Rob's tasked with holding that info push. Should they arrive in the lobby, there's plenty to deal with. Now Rain's getting answers elsewhere. No one has found a frag, and it's Rain to break silence and break ranks as NaVi now on the back foot. Can Simple step up when they need him? No bullet, no problem! Oh! The USP! One bullet away from the double. He should be dead and is, but perfecto kept honest on one, and Bit handed a very tasty morsel. The wallbang just off. Bomb is down! And Rain, 26 and counting. Holy! It was so manageable, but Rain has found form unlike anything we have seen before from him. This is his grand final right now. He's one map up. He wants to do it for Karrigan as well as all the other boys. Every day of this tournament passing, discussing the potential as you edge ever closer to it. Now you couldn't be closer than ever before. A map up. 12-8 up, the final half of the second map. Does it go the distance? Rain doesn't seem to think so.
And a second timeout taken from NaVi here. This is such an important round for them. They have enough to get in another buy, but if FaZe win this, they will break them.
Look at that, he took a flick on the first
He was on
fight.
2 HP. Rain was on 2 HP in that situation right there. Bit showing nerves. That was an easy kill on a silver platter. You could see there getting ahead of himself with that spam, unable to connect, very flustered stuff, but NaVi, this is it. This is their opportunity to stop FaZe now. If they lose this one, if they lose everything, FaZe are going to take this one home.
It's not pretty. Couple of sacrifices. And there's one sacrificed, a quick back from Brokey. A necessary response. And it looks like Rob's venture out squeak is cut short immediately. It was Rain and Rops that went poking and neither come back. You can see the mix up. They've set Simple up for success. And enables the other pieces to maneuver freely. Hesitant from FaZe. Down a man. Down on their luck. 4-round lead, but on the T side. Every round hard fought. And the reigning major champions stand in their way.
Simple so sketched out. There's no information towards Yard for NaVi whatsoever. Doesn't know if they're wrapping Heaven. Don't know if they're going to be from lobby. But Karrigan knows exactly where this one's going to finish.
So do we. Smokes are up. This is the go sign. Slinking out and looking for blood. Doesn't find it. Karrigan down as well. NaVi hold fast. Brokey doesn't have time for anything magical. He'd rather preserve the big green. Round 21 reaches its anticlimactic conclusion.
That's a gift from the god right there, quite literally. They might want to try and get this back. The fact that Brokey has this is huge into the next round of play here. I don't think there's enough money to be able to buy another AWP for Simple. So that means he's going to have to operate with a rifle alone. Maybe he can get dropped an AUG at best, but he will not have an AWP. I just don't think the finances are there right now. the buy behind this is going to be light on for that of Faze. It's going to give some questions right now for Karrigan of how they want to proceed. But if Brokey can find an opener here, right, there's a couple of pistol upgrades behind this. If he can drop a body, drop a weapon, we know that Faze are consistently threatening. So if he can find the opener, he can be the way into a round like this for Faze.
Na'Vi well aware that it could be in the mix. And the marching orders state, do not catch that bullet from the AWP, the most threatening, ouch, for Faze into our 22nd. An opportunity as well for Na'Vi just to remind themselves of what's at stake, a slow round with a distinct advantage.
They're going to try and make room for this AWP here.
Practice your bunny hop. And no one gets away. It's one out of Brokey's AWP. Multiple required. Ooh, just past the eardrum of the boosted player. And so, now a 2-round deficit emerges.
Yeah, Rob's here, P250 in hand, 30 seconds left on the clock. Absolutely no hope in this one. Just hoping to get a kill or two here. Brokey's having a fantastic game. Squeaky's going to swing on open, runs on out, and Boomich is going to take care of that. Gets his 7th kill. Rain's been having a great game, 26 to his name, but Brokey, 19. Right, that's why he was a threat in that situation with that saved AWP. Can never count him out.
The boost was perfectly placed.
Feeling very, very similar right now to how the scenes unfolded on Inferno. Faze with such a blistering lead in the early stages of the first half. Na'Vi recovering, salvaging the first half, and now drawing themselves back to just a 2-round margin.
This is interesting out of FaZe Clan.
Yeah, managing the finances here. Might be some pace behind this.
See if Na'Vi can weather this storm, because it's looking rainy, and Karrigan's in. Already the site threatened. Simple takes matters into his own hands, throws the AWP on his back, and puts drops on his as well. This is exciting as well, because look at what is up to. Harvard Nygaard going for the round-winning maneuver. And that's Simple. He's down and out. Rain on a half buy, bounding around, keeping the whole team on their toes. He's playing an absolute career game right now. Still alive, still a problem FaZe. Every passing second closer to a 13th. And Rain still low, but such a problem. Brokey allowed to get another, and there's no time. Rain wins it, and Na'Vi can do nothing. Oh, wow, wow, wow. He has a monopoly of violence in the server tonight. They had 2K to spare, and FaZe pull a round out of the hat.
I don't think Electronic can quite believe it there. They get multiple kills. Simple takes a huge risk by peering out of heaven and taking that first fight. Electronic gets one through the smoke, and they end up losing that round. That right there is what we would consider a tilt round. They're in such a horrible position now, Na'Vi, because the money, it's not evenly distributed. Simple can pull out this hero AWP. We've seen him do it once. I think we're about to see him do it again. A couple of purchases behind this as well, but for Na'Vi, we've seen them in these situations when they're in hot water. They have to turn to this man on the screen. FaZe have taken a timeout. They're trying to make sure that they can stay in control of this, because that's a gimme. That's a round that they shouldn't have been converting. That would have been Na'Vi drawing this back to a 1-round lead.
So hundreds and thousands of us on tenterhooks, on the very edge of our seat here in the Sport Palais. 13-10. Round 24 to be played. Electronic tasked with yard. No initial wall of smokes. Looking to force rotations of the defense, keep them guessing, keep them scratching their heads.
FaZe are in the power position right now. They don't have to rush anything. They can wait this out. They can slowly discover what lies in wait from this Na'Vi buy. There's a lot of questions to be answered here, and the longer that they wait, the more utility Na'Vi uses, and this one starts to tip further and further in FaZe Clan's favor. Remember, this is a force. Loss bonus for both teams. Towards the bottom of the barrel here. This could be the knockout blow from FaZe if they can convert around like this.
If. Only one way to find out. Smoke to the heaven. Implies a top hit. And Karrigan, he's got more to imply the same. That's a molly set up for Hut. Should he desire 50 seconds and still statues from all 10. No one moves a muscle. More nades flying through, still not a single bullet fired. Still guessing. Bit gets an answer. Doesn't find the lethality, but he can call upon Simple to step it up. Karrigan's pulled one back on the top side, a wall bang. They can still go either way. This is a hard clear, and Electronic's gone. It's only Simple now to stop that bomb and stop a 14. And no, but Rain! He does not relent. He does not surrender. And Na'Vi succumb to FaZe Clan for 14. They got nothing left, Chad. Nothing. FaZe Clan are on the very edge of writing history. The very edge. 2 rounds. They've played hundreds of thousands in their lives, but 2 rounds is all that separates them from doing what no one has done before on an international roster. Na'Vi. Options so limited now for the back-to-back.
This timeout right now isn't going to draw anything for Na'Vi. Their options aren't great either way. You force buy, you don't win this round, you got 2,400 in the final round to defend, to make sure that you do not lose the opportunity just to take this one to a 3rd map. FaZe are in the driver's seat here. This is their game. This is their major. This is what they've been working for.
And the way in which these players have arrived in this roster robs the final piece of the puzzle. Played with Karrigan. Seen as one to be feared, and there he is in the feed. Onto Simple, no less. Bit making a very ballsy call on his own volition, which may facilitate early information as to the location of FaZe.
Someone has to step up huge here for Na'Vi. They just have these pistols. It's not going to be trading. Somebody needs a multi-kill. Somebody needs to go absolutely nuts right now.
They're stepping up for lobby info, while FaZe are already heading straight on into a one-man guarded site. Electronic summons Boomich. Oh, and he's not ready for that. He falters. 3 left to be ticked off the list. FaZe have all the time in the world. It's Bit with 1. We need more out of Na'Vi, and it's Electronic with the 1 as well. Only Perfecto. He's been known to clutch. But this is too tall a task to ask. Time. And that's another for Ops. FaZe, ladies and gentlemen, have 5 opportunities to create a memory that will last forever. This series hangs in the balance of the last Na'Vi timeout. Blade slowly creating this roster of Titans.
They can't stop this. They can't stop FaZe right now. There is absolutely no way that Na'Vi can bring this one back. They are broken here. They have been put under pressure on both of these maps out the gate. It's been comebacks, it's been salvaging halves, it's been trying to claw their way in. And FaZe say no. There's 5 more kills. The first international roster to ever lift a major trophy.
And every member of FaZe Clan's first. They've been at it a long time. So many misfires. Is this the round that changes all of that. Twist set out on a mission, the pointy end of Faze's spear in pursuit of glory. They are the architects of their fate. Mouse and keyboard. And the brain on their shoulders. And Perfecto trying his luck. Good damage. He wants to finish it, and he gets the best of him. Desperate to try and tip the scales, but he's gone down. Is that the start of the end? It could be 55. Still, the T side required to gain access to a site. The options plentiful. And Rain, he's not done. He gets his 30, and Faze 2 frags away. One more! They have done it! NaVi dethroned. The elusive accolade. Greatness from across the globe. They do what so many set out to achieve. And it's such a glorious arena. Remember this moment, Antwerp, because I know for sure 5 people who will. Ladies and gentlemen, your PGL Antwerp Major Champions! Give it up for Faze Clan!
Your PGL Major Antwerp champions, Faze Clan! The first international team to have ever done it. I'm going to start with you, Robs. You joined this team, you come back in with Karrigan. You're on top of the world, you're the #1 team, but this certainly wasn't easy. But you just did it in 2 and got your first major championship. How do you describe that, brother?
You cannot. It's just dreams come true for every single one of us. Undescribable.
Now, Twist, the man who tried in many occasions to get it done with Liquid. Now you come onto this roster, you've been grinding out, you move away from North America, and you come in to do it with Faze. What does this mean to you?
Honestly, it's a special feeling to win a major in my career so early on. And there's no other team that I would want to have accomplished it with. These guys are family to me, and I'll never forget these moments with them, seriously.
Hard work pays off. Now, you just said so early in your career, a man who's a little bit later into his career has done it. You've been with Faze Clan Reign since 2016. You've had these rosters built to be the best, but you've never quite managed to get the major. Do you feel accomplished now?
I feel so fucking good. It's an amazing fucking feeling, and I can't believe it. With Karrigan, after Boston, we finally fucking did it. I feel so good.
Finally did it. Brokey, you're a man of little words normally, but have you got something to say for everyone out there? Now you're lifting that major trophy, brother.
We fucking made history, boys!
That's all we need from you, Brokey. Now, Karrigan, I got to ask you quickly, 32 years old, still grinding away at the game you love, but this one eluded you time and time again. How does that feel in your hands?
To be honest, never back down. Doesn't matter how hard life hits you. I've been benched a few times, came back. All I wanted in my life wanted to make history, that an international team won a major, and we fucking did it in here!
Now, I've also got to ask you, though, Inferno, my oh my, that was close. Flashbacks at all?
I mean, what I just wanted to say, I wanted to say I'm stronger than I was in Boston, and I think that showed today. Even though whatever break through in this team, positive mindset, we can lose a 1v5 and we can win the next round. Keep focused on the moment, and I'm just proud to call all these my teammates, and I'm just so happy where I am right now, and Faze is my family.
It definitely seems like one big family for sure. So now we have Katowice, EPL, the major trophy in your hands. What's the next goal?
I think I need to relax when I get home. When you're this old, you need a little more resting time, but obviously keep improving, keep making history. That's why we're here for. That's why I grind CS every day. And playing in an arena like this, it just makes my life so happy, and I appreciate everyone who came today and cheered for great CS. Thank you very much.
And finally, Karrigan, you said it right. Never give up, never back down. What advice would you give to anyone that's struggling right now, anyone that wants to push forward and try and achieve their goals like you've managed to do here today?
In my opinion, ignore what everybody says about you. Sit down in a dark corner and make sure that once you prove everyone wrong in this world, that you did it by grinding and by going the hardest way possible, and just keep believing in yourself. That's what I learned in the last phase. I didn't believe in the end of myself. I joined with Robs in Mouse Sports, and I started to believe that I could come back and be the best in-game leader, and now have the best team in the world to do this. So yeah, always keep believing and dreaming.
I love it. Karrigan, Faze, congratulations. Your PGL Major Antwerp champions, Faze Clan!
Here we go. Faze Clan are your PGL Major champions. Let's watch them hoist it once again. It's just so beautiful to see. Karrigan has had a date with destiny since 4 years on that fateful day that he couldn't get it done with rain on a rainy day in Boston. But today, them two do it. Not just them two, all 5 of them, and the entire Faze org making it happen. What a road for Karrigan, and what a road for these guys on stage right now.
It's a story of perseverance. If you're talking about Karrigan, it's a story of tenacity. We're talking about 9 playoffs, participation at the major, 5 quarterfinal finishes, 2 semi-final finishes, and a lost final, of course, but not today. He was not going to be denied today. He had all the tools he needed. He had the pieces to the puzzle. He had the vision, and he had the bravery to seize the opportunity.
You're looking at a guy who never gave up, right? You're looking at a guy who was kicked, who was benched, who was looking at his life thinking, do I really have what it takes in order to win the major? And as he said on the stage right here, right, he sat in a dark room, he grinded his way back, and as you said, Matthew, he finally got all the pieces put together. He got himself back into Faze Clan. He got Robs into his lineup, a guy he had in Mouse as well, and they finally put it together. They won a major, and they did it in all fairness by being the absolute best team.
Karrigan overcame the toughest adversity to make it here today, and for that you have to commend him. Just this road, it is one of redemption, it is beautiful, it is poetic, it's everything we want to see in narratives, whether it's esports, real life, doesn't matter. This is a beautiful story, and I'm glad we were here to watch it unfold.
I agree. I very much agree, but we also have to look at the other players. Look at Rain. He was there with him all the way as well.
Rain.
Right? He has also won a major, and he did it, at least according to me, by being by far the best player in the final, and also we have to award him the MVP. At least he's my MVP for the major as well. Rain won a major by being an absolute beast on the server.
What a renaissance story for a man that was the 4th best player in 2017. That was 5 years ago that Rain was counted amongst the very best players of Counter-Strike. And he was forgotten for a while. People let him by the wayside, thought that's it. He has to retire. He doesn't have it in himself. What a statement he makes today.
I hope production will forgive me, but I do think we have a couple of Rain rounds probably, or some highlights, but I like that you just called out. Karrigan is obviously the headline. Fantastic. Rain then, to you, the MVP of the tournament. Let's talk about the others as well in terms of what they've done here. Brokey comes top of mind. Maui, what an unbelievable set he's played here today.
Brokey played fantastic CS. I mean, the way that he was able to up his game over time. What we saw in 2021, getting at that number 20 HLTV spot, many said maybe he doesn't even deserve that. It could be a couple other players. But man, he just kept improving linearly. This guy has been phenomenal for Faze. He has upped his playbook. He has made a name for himself as this passive opper, this machine gun opper, shooting it every single time he can, but he can do it aggressively too. The trades he was finding on Inferno, the way he was entering into the bomb sites. He got a triple entry into a bomb site on Inferno with an op. That's unthinkable. Most oppers, even the best in the world, even Simple sometimes put down the op to pick up the rifle, but not Brokey, not today.
I'm glad you mentioned Simple, because Brokey stole the show. Brokey absolutely stole the show in this grand final. We talked about the play of Debutant. We posed the question, what kind of performance is he going to display? Is he going to disappear? Is he going to show up for the occasion? Man, he was beautiful in this grand final. He was full of courage. You're talking about the attitude, going in, making the difference, getting stuck in. That's what Karrigan needed.
Oh, absolutely. And I think when you look at this entire campaign out of Faze at the Major, there were times when we said, oh, X player isn't having his best game, but he had the 4 others to catch him. X player isn't having the best game. Maybe Rops is a little slow, but his team has him, and the next map he just shows off. They're such a unit, this Faze clan, right? Spare a word for Rops and Twist then. For them also absolutely fantastic, just by the pedigree of their career so far, finally getting that major title.
I think we all knew it when we saw it the first time around. When Rops was signed to Faze Clan, it made an awful lot of sense. You look at the paper, you look at the lineup being put together right here, and we all agreed that, wow, that is a lineup that is supposed to win trophies. That is a lineup that is supposed to go far major. But for looking at a page, you know, looking at a piece of paper thinking, yeah, that team should be good, and to then actually make them good, go into the first major they play together and win it, that is a massive, massive achievement. And we cannot underestimate at all the influence Rops and Twist, for that matter, have had on this victory.
Yeah.
It's just an insurance. It's an insurance. That's what it is. When you have Rops and Twist in rounds, then you know that if things go south, if suddenly you have to have that shot. Think about round 30 on Inferno. That 1v1 against Simple. We know it's Rops. We know he's going to get it.
Stone cold.
And that is such a great value to have for Faze. And he's worth his way of gold.
Yeah, I said it before, it's a world of super teams, right? But it's not because you have all the puzzle pieces that it's going to net you a title. And it's now netted them 3 already so far this year. Unbelievable, Maui. I'm going to pull up round 5 by Rain just for us to just look at it again. And I think there's a lot of beautiful moments in this entire series.
Yeah, I mean, I posed this at the beginning in the pregame, the fact that it is a Rain v Electronic duel that's going to be taking place outside. Rain gets the first, but look at what he does after he wins that opener. A triple kill on top of that first one. Exceptional stuff coming out from Rain. The 4K right there, taking down the entire offense of Navi. He ascended today. It wasn't just when it rains, it pours. This was a torrential downpour for
It was.
Are you aware of how much confidence you need to do that, you know, in order to play that position on Yard? He's exposed 24/7 against some of the best players in the entire world. You're going up against Bit, you're going up against Electronic, you're going up against Simple, and he's constantly in Yard, maneuvering around the smokes, exposing himself, almost inviting them to come at me, you know, come shoot me. And every single time in that first half, Rain shut it down. That was a monster CT side performance, and we've seen it before.
And it's the space he takes away from Boomage. We talked about how Navi love to play outside in multiple different ways. They'll have different sets of smoke. Electronic is going to find timings. What kind of timing Rain doesn't have any timing. He just shut them down, pushed them out of the server in the first 7 to 8 round. He literally took the playbook from Boomic, just made it a ball and throw it out the window.
You want to talk about shutting down Boomic? You know, in that game over 2 maps, they had 15 duels in between each other. Rain killed Boomic 14 times. Boomic killed Rain once in that entire game. Rain completely shut down Boomic and anything he was hoping to achieve in this game.
Wow. Rain, what a performance. Faze, what a performance. Let's spare a moment for Navi then as we take a look at the bracket, who had, you know, an up and down major, but they came into their own as the playoffs progressed. After the first map, the story here on the desk by my analyst was, it's not necessarily that Navi wasn't performing at their best, it was that Faze was better. What is the consensus now after this final Maui?
The teamwork from Faze was there for them. The trades, late round situations, retaking post plans, it looks like they got the better of Navi in the majority of those kinds of situations. Even the ways that they were creative in some of the late rounds to find, even if they lost the opening kill, to bring it back. That's where Faze were really thriving in this one. And the thing is with Navi, the win condition going into this was that the individuals all had to shine. We only got a couple glimpses here and there of brilliance.
Yeah, some of the superstars just didn't deliver what we were hoping for. When you have Simple in your team and he goes 0.89 rating, oh, isn't it cute?
Is this
have it.
Not a typical
Are
game.
they? Remember what happened in Stockholm? What are you?
Yeah, no, let's forget.
Okay.
Again,
Don't
talk
repeat
about
history.
Simple not even having the good game that he was supposed to have. When you have Bit who takes a while to warm up, some of these pieces are missing when Perfecto is your highest fragger. But again,
This is so nice.
that really a problem?
I mean, it's just so beautiful because he gave that speech, right? You know, she's there by his side as well. You know, everyone is when you're in a pro player career, and they have to be because you give everything for your job and for your career. Let's run into the closing remarks of this major. I want to leave you with something that Karrigan said, I think it was between Katowice and the RMR, asked about, you know, now winning Katowice, then the Pro League, of course, and then the major is on the horizon, and he was asked, you know, would this be it? And he said, it would be great. It would be fantastic, but I'm not going to stop there. I'm there to keep winning trophies. So that leads us into the conversation about this phase now, with the successes they have had so far, the fact that this international roster is making sense. What is on the horizon, panelists?
You know what? I truly hope that this isn't it. I truly hope it isn't it. But we have to say, we have to address the fact that they had this extra hunger into this game. And you could see it in Rain, you could see it in Karrigan, that they wanted this more than anything in the world. Are we going to see that same hunger moving forward? I think they have all the pieces. They can write something beautiful with Faze, but is that extra plus 10% going to be here?
I agree. You know, I think sky's the limit for this lineup. You look at the lineup, you look at the players, and you think to yourself, you know, it makes so much sense on paper. Now we're seeing it play out in front of us as well. And I want to state this for the record as well. I don't think Faze at any point in this tournament played at 100%. I even said it coming into the final. They got into the grand final by playing at 80, 85%. You still saw mistakes. We saw Rain on Inferno as well. You know, drop the ball a couple of times despite being the MVP. There's still more to be decided for Faze. So I am 100% sure that we're going to see them around, and it is a team that will win more trophies. And I also want to state, you know, that we look at a Karrigan, we look at a guy who's been around for such a long period. He now won the major, right? That was the one final thing he needed to win. He's close to an Intel Grand Slam as well, perhaps. Outside of that, is there anything else he can achieve? I think we could be looking at Karrigan right now, playing perhaps the last year of his professional career. So I hope it's going to be a good one.
I don't want that.
I know.
I don't want any of that.
I know. I'm just trying to.
I don't want any of that.
There's still the Grand Slam on the horizon for them.
And
The
that's
fact
what
is-
keeps him at bay, you know?
Yeah, they've got 3 right now. I think Dallas is the next, if I'm not mistaken. So that's one for them where they can put a hefty chunk of change into their pockets right there, $1 million as well. I mean, the thing is with Faze, the roles just make so much sense. And we heard Twist there on the stage that he loves this team.
Yeah.
I mean, they're loving each other right now. They're feeling it. It doesn't feel like there's anything going on behind the scenes, like there's a role clash or anything. Everybody is so comfortable where they are right now for Faze.
May I just take the floor as well and give some commiserations to Navi just one final time?
Yes, yeah.
I feel we need to, right? The circumstances they came into this tournament with, it cannot be easy, right? I don't think we can even grasp to imagine what it's like being in the Navi camp right now, having to move to different countries, having to focus on a lot of stuff outside of the game, yet they still came into the major. They didn't lose a single game coming into the grand final. And yes, we all agree tonight, Faze were the better team. Faze right now is the best team in the world, but for Navi to be in a grand final at another major, given everything that's going on with their roster, I think that deserves some round applause.
Yeah, they played with a lot of heart, and I think a lot of people would have seen them go out earlier in the tournament due to their recent form, due to the circumstances, but they have reminded us of the quality that is within that roster and the fact that when the match starts, when the server is on, nothing else happens. You're just literally a team, and you have a goal, and you go for it, and you give your absolute everything. And if it's not enough tonight, then so be it. We're not going to attack them. We're not going to diminish them. They did everything they could. They put up an honorable fight for Navi, and it speaks to their value.
Absolutely does, and there will be another tomorrow for them, but it is Faze that reigns supreme here today. A couple of thank yous to all the teams and the players who gave us, I think, one of the most beautiful majors we have ever seen, through the runs from the underdogs, through the stars stepping up when it mattered the most. I want to thank you all in Antwerp, if you're still here, for being so loud this entire weekend, everybody watching and supporting us every day, Seb and his crew in the production behind the scenes every single day, showing up. This is what we do it for. This is why we love Counter-Strike. All my analysts, all the on-air talents. I don't think I've forgotten anyone, but the most important one, every one of you at home. Thank you for your continued support. I hope you enjoyed this PGL Major, and we'll see you next time.